The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians. Apply today at standardheating.com.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
I don't want nothing from you. I don't want nothing from you. This ain't no charity case. Get out of my house. Get out of my house, I just said.
Don't talk to him like that.
Hold outside, Paulie.
I don't want you missing her. Yeah, come on! You wanna hit on me? Come on! I'll break both your arms so they don't work for you. Now you're a big shot fighter on the way up. You don't even throw a crumb to your friend Paulie. When I go and get your meat every morning, you forgot that night I even give you my sister too. Like a loser! I don't get married because of you. You can't live by yourself. You owe me!
Hey, Rocco, I know you're kind of busy just now, but I want to tell you some things I never told you. I know sometimes I act stupid and I say stupid things, but you kept me around, and other people would have said, drop that bum. You give me respect. It's hard for me to say these kind of things because that ain't my way, but if I could just unzip myself and step out and be someone else, I want to be you. You're real hot, Rock. Now blast this guy's teeth out.
Showtime.
Oh, no. What happened?
Burt Young passed away, who famously, of course, played Paulie in the Rocky movies.
All right, I'm having a hard time with this. Burt Young died?
His daughter mentioned it yesterday.
God dang it.
But he actually passed away October 8th, but the news is just coming out, or it did late last night. That's too bad. What a great character actor he was.
He was great in everything.
And just an interesting guy in general.
I didn't know too much about his personal life.
Well, so he enlisted in the Marines when he was 16 years old, and he got in because his dad lied about his age. You know, that's how much he wanted to serve his country and become a Marine. He was a professional boxer. Now, no one's been able to confirm this, but he said his record is 17-1.
That's what I'd say, too.
Yeah,
if nobody knew that I was a professional boxer. Yeah, 17-1, and I lost to Ali.
I like how he makes it realistic with the one loss.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, you can't say 17-0.
Undefeated. Yeah.
He was a meat packer. He was a carpet layer. He was in, he had like some appearances in television shows.
Sure.
Since
Yeah, Sopranos.
Rocky he was in The Sopranos.
Never saw it.
Russian
Burt
Doll
Young
was a relatively popular show recently. He was on that.
He made it to how old, Burt Young?
83.
Ah, man. It's a great scene. You played the audio. You played a couple great pieces of Rocky audio there, Josh. A lot of folks don't know that, Paulie and Rocky weren't like bros or anything from the get-go.
No.
He had a few problems with Rocky dating his sister and this and that.
He thought Rocky was a loser
Yeah,
at
he
first.
did. And then he kind of pushed his sister on Rocky, and Rocky's like, look, maybe I don't want to take his sister. And then they became very tight. They had their moments of discourse, but I love that scene where he says, if I could unzip my body and step into somebody else, I'd want to be you. Now blast this guy's teeth out.
There's
I love you, Burt Young.
Me too. There's a Sylvester Stallone documentary coming out on Netflix next month.
I watched a trailer about 12 times yesterday.
That's
I will
ridiculous.
be
That's too many
masturbating to
times.
that.
Once is enough, Dana.
A Sylvester Stallone documentary, you say?
Netflix on the 10th next month called Sly. I'm really looking forward to that. I enjoyed the one they did about Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was entertaining.
That was cool.
Sylvester Stallone, he makes an appearance in that. They talk about their rivalry, and now they're buddies now. Obviously, he was in Back to School as Rodney Dangerfield's driver.
Oh, yeah.
He was great in that.
Oh, you're so good.
It's tough sometimes to start the program knowing that someone that you were very fond of has passed. It's tough, but, Josh, I love that you give us a heads up on these things. I could have gone the entire day without knowing that Burt Young has passed. I appreciate you letting me know.
At 83, that's not bad. I mean,
Not bad.
I'd love to make it to 83.
Yeah, for sure.
Before
I think
we
I'll be
get on,
about 20 years shy of that.
Nah,
I don't know why you always say that.
you're going to live forever.
Because the men in my family don't make it past 65.
You
now,
will
do they treat
outlive
their
all of
bodies?
us, Josh.
Do they treat their bodies poorly with drugs,
Yes.
alcohol, cigarettes, all that kind of stuff?
Yes.
Yes, they do.
You're going to surpass them without a doubt. You're the cleanest whistle in town. Before we get out of here, for Burt Young fans, for Rocky fans, before the show is over, I think we should play the scene about the stuff in the basement.
Oh, I'm going to play that in the news. I could play it right now if you want.
I could listen to it multiple times if you don't know the reference. This was from the movie Rocky Balboa. If you're the type who likes to count the Rocky movies, this would have technically been Rocky 5, right, Cubby?
6, yeah. I believe it was Rocky 6.
6. Sorry. I'm not Rocky.
The last Rocky movie he was in, Rocky-related movie. He didn't make it in the Creed movies, which was a bummer.
Yeah. Right, Rocky 5, I forget about quite easily because...
Everyone does.
It wasn't exactly my favorite. Okay.
Rocky Balboa was awesome, though.
Otherwise known as Rocky 6. Yes, Rocky Balboa might be the best of the entire series, but there's a scene where Rocky is battling with what he's to do with his life now that Adrian, his wife, is dead and his boxing career is over, and he talks to his brother-in-law, Paulie, about some unfinished business, or as Rocky calls it, some stuff in the basement.
Rock, it takes guts climbing back in that ring knowing you're gonna take a beating. You're gonna do all right, Rocco.
How do you know that?
The stuff in the basement.
My basement's empty. I've got nothing. Absolutely nothing to draw from. I have a walkout. There's no basement.
I was actually referring to the scene from the meatpacking plant where Rocky begins to cry, which of course destroyed me when I watched the movie the first time, and it destroys me every time. Maybe we can get to that a little bit later. Are you mad, Rocky, because Adrian left you? She didn't left me, Paulie. She died. Okay, Rock, okay. It's like I got this beast inside me, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we can get to that later because it's beautiful. All right, good morning, everybody. It's our last legitimate broadcast of the work week.
Bit of a road trip today, eh? You guys all ready?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, I got ready last night.
Did you?
I told myself to pack last night, and I did not do that.
Well, for Christ's sake, we're going to be gone for a day and a half. What do you need to get done?
Cell phone charger and a change of undies. That's all you really need.
I have some running around to do today, so I wanted to get as much as I could done yesterday. But
exactly.
Our last legitimate broadcast of the work week. I mean tomorrow, sure, we're going to try and make a show happen at St. Croix Casino, Turtle Lake, but we make no promises on, number one, that technically it even happens. You guys have all been here for a long enough time to know that we shouldn't even promise that.
I'd say our engineer that we have now is quite brilliant. The only thing he won't be able to control is what happens back here, now that I think about it, because he'll be with us. So you're right. There could be some issues.
Nor do we promise, if in fact we get on the air, we do not promise the usual commitment to broadcasting excellence that you hear when we're right in our home studios. If we go live tomorrow at this time, I'll consider it a win. Whatever happens on air from there doesn't count in the official record books. We're heading out to Turtle Lake Casino. We got to get going this afternoon. Got a little get-together tonight. And then this time tomorrow, we'll be broadcasting live from the sports book at Turtle Lake Casino. From what I understand, we're going to have a big crowd on hand.
Yeah, twice as much as last year, what they were telling us.
Oh, that's great news.
That's a lot more pressure.
Yep.
A lot more things could go wrong.
Yeah. A lot more incoming disappointment from people. They're like, oh, yeah, you guys aren't as cool as I thought you were.
Nobody thought we were cool in the first place. And I want to, once again, reiterate, we're looking for a reasonable amount of adult, mature fun. Nothing crazy. We don't need anything crazy anymore. We've done that.
We've done it.
Let's just have, and also if we could keep it at a volume where you can have a conversation. It doesn't need to be too loud.
Yes, that would be ideal.
Nothing like that.
Yeah, I hope no one's out to prove anything in the next couple of days at Turtle Lake Casino.
We're getting too old for that.
We're too old for it. We've done all that. Let me put it this way. If we would have done this broadcast 22 years ago, that casino would be in real trouble. Real trouble. So tomorrow's show will likely sound a little different than usual. If you're headed out to to join us later on this afternoon. Number one, thank you for committing yourself to such a thing.
Yeah, no kidding.
Most of you, I'm guessing, have to miss a day of work for this deal.
Leaving the house, much less the zip code, much less the state for several people. That's a big ask, and we appreciate you doing it.
If you're coming out, we'll try to have a few laughs. A couple of beers, a bite to eat, trade a few stories, place a few bets. You think they could get a billiard table in the casino before this afternoon?
I think they can handle anything.
There's one across the street from our hotel.
I don't want to go across the street from the hotel.
Oh, it's a pretty good pool table, though. That was the first thing that me and my boyfriend tried to figure out last year when we found out that we were going up to the casino. We were like, pool table?
Maybe they could get a billiard table right in the middle of that sports book. Clear out some of those dinner tables and put in a billiard table.
It would fit perfectly.
You know what's funny, Nick? He'll never bring this up, but off air, he was just saying how excited he is for the drive because he's got an hour and a half of fall colors to look forward to. It's going to be quite the spectacle on the way there.
You'll never hear me say that on the air, though.
Off air, he loves it. Absolutely loves it. I'm being told right here that Turtle Lake has a brand new Quick Trip.
I thought you were going to.
I love gas station and gas station food.
God dang it! I thought you were going to say billiard table.
That's a day maker.
Do they have porn on the televisions over there in our hotel rooms? I'm asking for one of the sales guys who's coming along on the trip.
I didn't.
Do they do that anymore? They must.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to such things anymore, and it's so rare that I go out of town. I don't know what you can find on your hotel room television anymore.
I mean, you do have a cell phone.
No, it's not the same.
No, you can cast it to the TV, though, these days.
Oh, that's
Depends
true.
on the hotel. Mm-hmm. Somebody wants to know if it's sold out. I haven't heard that it's sold out.
I don't think so.
Actually, well, they wrote, you guys sold out, but there's a question mark, so I'm assuming he's asking if you can still get a room.
The last I heard, if it isn't sold out, it's awful close. But we don't have any exact figures in front of us. You know what I'm looking forward to? Looking forward to everything. But you know what I got a kick out of last year? And I think, Josh, you and I had a conversation about this. If you're inside Treasure Island Casino, if you're inside St. Croix Casino, Turtle Lake, and you walk into that sports book, to your left is some kind of little dining hall.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. And last year on Friday night, so you've got the 93X crowd at Derelicts pouring in and out of the sports book. To the left, where that dining hall is, they have their regular Friday fish fry. And what I got a kick out of was the fish fry crowd, is how you say it, trying to figure out who the hell we are.
That's right. I forgot. Didn't we both go over there?
I mean, I think we walked in and asked, what do you got for dinner? And they said it's our fish fry night. And we said, oh, yeah, Friday night. That makes sense. But it was kind of fun watching the fish fry crowd look at all of us coming in and out the sports book. And you could see that some of them were saying, who the hell are these derelict mud ducks? And when are they going to leave?
I remember last year, Nick and Josh from that same dining hall, you guys got like a roast beef sandwich or something that you guys were pumped about.
Fire.
That's why I remember going over there, because I thought we got some food from there.
Yeah. You guys were jacked about that.
That was exciting.
Oh, you bet we were jacked.
And as Ashley said, it was fire.
Anybody here ever have any aspirations to get into the casino business? To be
I thought about being a blackjack dealer when I was a young man.
I would love to be a dealer.
Yeah, I thought about being a dealer.
All three of you did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I even had opportunities, too, because, I mean, they put that new card casino, Running Aces, up by my house when I was in high school.
Okay.
So it could have been, like a high school job, but...
Did all three of you play cards with your buddies in high school and really get into blackjack and everything?
Way too much, yes.
Yep.
We went to the casino, quite a bit. When we turned 18, that was kind of a thing for a while for us.
Yeah, our senior year for a while, when it was kind of winding down, we were all accepted to colleges, classes didn't matter all that much. There were a lot of times where we would tell our parents we were staying at somebody else's house and we'd play poker all night at Canterbury, then go to school and just kind of sleep through class and then go back and do it again.
Me and my buddies never got into that scene. We never got into
Not even when you were 18?
No.
Me either.
That was about the strip joint. That had nothing to do with the casino when we turned 18.
Yeah, it was both. I mean, that was kind of the tradition. You turned 18, you hit the VU, and then you go to the casino.
Well, I mean, but for us, we hit the strip joint just over and over and over and over again. If we had a night free, that's where we... So we never were big card players growing up. So that's interesting that 3 of you thought maybe I'll go over and be a blackjack dealer. I can only draw off of one friend of mine when it comes to what life might be like working at a joint like Turtle Lake. This was I haven't seen him in years now, but I remember walking into the casino that this dude worked at. And it was, and being like I just said, I was never a big casino guy growing up. Very, very sporadically did we swing into one of those joints. So I knew very little about casinos as a whole. This is when we were about 24, 25. And I went to a certain casino where my buddy was working, and there he was with his little bow tie and his cute outfit, right?
Yeah.
He was kind of like a floor manager. He actually... what's the word in the business? Excelled quite quickly, moved up the ladder quite quickly. And suddenly he had a managerial position. And I walk in, and of course, as soon as you walk in, it's a fun scene. There's the slot machines are humming. And at this particular place, there was a little live band playing already in the afternoon. And you smell the food, and you walk by the sports bar and the ball games are going, and I just thought, wow, and I walked up to my buddy and I said, this has got to be the coolest job. Look, the live band. Oh, look at all the slot machines. And he said, guess again, dude. He hated it. And I asked him, why? How could you buy? And it just came down to this, and I think we'll all understand, just dealing with people. Dealing with customers.
Especially with their money, too.
Yeah, I've also heard from some dealers who they say they thought in theory it's a fun job. Then you see people that are like cashing their paychecks in and gambling it all away, and it's just kind of sad.
And they're someone's house.
Wappa, when we were saying we wanted to be dealers, we meant like at a blackjack table or something like that, right?
Oh, wrong dealer for me.
I had assumed so.
Yeah, I was thinking
the only thing that really kept me from being a blackjack dealer is I don't know how to shuffle cards, and I only sort of understand the game. But I did want to do it.
Back to this buddy of mine, or just in general, the idea of working at a casino, being a blackjack dealer, you got to deal with people who are drunk, and they're the funniest person of all time, right? So at any rate, more credit to you if that's what, if that's your gig.
There's one.
You got to put up with a lot of people and a lot of different types of people, and wow, I mean that impresses me.
Yeah, I suppose any public-facing job, right? You run into that.
Right.
Every once in a while, you hear a story about someone coming uncorked at a Popeye's drive-thru or something like that.
Oh man.
Yeah, it'll be fun, and I'm looking forward to. I got to sneak. My older kids are coming, so I'm gonna have to sneak away, get away from them, because I want to try those dirty slot machines you were telling me about, Ashley.
Yes, absolutely. I can point you in the right direction.
I know, because that's fascinating to me. I mean, how dirty did they get? Like, did tops come off? Is it, you pull the lever and tops come off, or what happened?
No, I don't believe the top comes all the way off, but it basically could be at that point.
That's interesting.
Those are the fun ones.
You're going to pull some slots, huh, Josh?
Yeah, I like that. And slots, I understand. I can push the button. Sometimes if I have the arm strength, I can pull the lever.
I never know what's happening with slot machines. If I win, it's always just dumb luck because I'm just pushing buttons and something happens and things light up. I'm like, oh, I won.
But that's how it goes. Yeah, there's not any strategy that I'm aware of.
But there's sometimes like, do you bet all? Do you do max credits? Do you do one credit? Do you do one line, 5 lines?
I've learned, it's probably all BS anyway, but there's like a strategy that I use, I guess. Like I like to go max bet a couple rounds because then the machine likes that.
So wait, this is a legitimate question. There, no snark here. There is a strategy, isn't it? Just all computer chance.
Some people think there's a strategy. Like I said, it's probably all BS. But this is what I've learned from being at the bars in Wisconsin, since they have like slot machines in them, I picked up a few things from guys that would play constantly.
Yeah, I like it when you watch like the old lady who's she's got 5 going on in a row.
Yeah.
You can't sit anywhere near her.
Yeah, no.
Just a big cup of coins, and she's going for it.
They never leave the chair. They'll urinate there if they have to, so someone doesn't take their chair. Strategy. That's why I've never been a great card player. I do not have a strategical bone in my body.
Well, and once you piss off one old lady at the blackjack table, you get a little gun shy, and Nick and I both did that. Nick got yelled at by, I'd imagine, a 78-year-old woman at the casino?
I was very drunk, and we decided to, not that I was causing any problems, I wasn't, but I was quite soaked. And Josh and I sat down to play some blackjack at some joint, and we weren't taking it seriously, and we weren't using the normal strategies. You know, you double down on this, you never take a this when you should have a...
betting on 17s.
Well, I don't remember, but
we didn't really know what we were doing.
We didn't care. You know, we were just there to, whatever, we'll play 5-6 hands of blackjack. But because the other players were so serious about it, they instantly took a disliking to us, and some lady yelled at me. I shouldn't have even had sex with her, I don't think.
Well, you were trying to say I'm sorry. It was I'm sorry sex.
The next morning, I regretted having relay. But I have zero strategical skills, because there is a lot of that involved. I watch my buddies who play poker and blackjack, and they know all the angles and what you shouldn't and should do and what this hand might lead to the next time around. I'm not built for that. That's why I like to play. And you know what? We're going to Wisconsin. Maybe we could round up a couple games of 6, 5, 4, and 3s are free. No strategy at all. You just roll the dice and see what happens.
Oh, I'd be fine with that.
And of course, you guys know I struggle so badly with arithmetic that my friends won't even let me play, what's that game called? Cribbage. So when I sit down to play blackjack, I'm not kidding you. If I get a 7 and a 5, I have to say 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in my head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't do simple math.
I like it when you get the dealers that are looking out for you a little bit. I've had that a couple times where you say something and they're like, you sure?
Yeah.
That's really what you want to do?
You can ask them, what does the book say to do on this? And they'll let you know.
Yeah, they want a tip.
When I go to Wisconsin,
is that really what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I never would have considered that.
you should always tip them anyway.
Yeah.
That's why they help you a lot, so they get a better tip.
That's very nice of them. That's why when I go to Wisconsin a couple times a year, I play roulette.
I love roulette.
Zero strategy. I think the thing's going to land there, and that color. Okay. Oh, I lost again? Well, I think it's going to go there. It's just zero strategy. I'm too simple. I'm too dumb for blackjack and poker. There's no way I could ever hang with some of these folks.
And I'm too cheap, really, for that stuff. I did the roulette once, and I'm like, all right, put 10 on black. I lost it. I walked away and didn't do any more bets at all.
Don't they have craps at St. Croix?
I don't know. What do you do for that? I've seen it in movies.
Well, people
does
say
not make
that
sense
it's
to me.
the best odds, apparently. I've never played it, and I kind of want to.
I believe they do, Wapple. I've seen it done. I don't understand a single word of it, and I've tried. Although one night I ended up winning like $300 and had no idea what I was doing the entire time, playing craps. Also in Wisconsin. Roulette. Man, we've had some laughs playing roulette in Wisco. And, you know, going back to the patience and the professionalism of a casino employee to put up with all these different personalities, and everybody's drinking, and they, some of them are very happy and some of them are very not happy by the luck, the good or bad luck that they're experiencing. Playing roulette one night, any of you who've played, once that effing dealer spins that little testicle around the circle-y thing, once he gets that thing cooking, keep your hands to yourself. I had a buddy who kept trying to adjust his numbers after the ball started.
No.
Sir, please keep your hands to...
Get a baseball bat to the side of the head for something like that.
I finally had to turn to my buddy and say, stop that! You cannot reach it. Well, I want to go to 22. No, it's too late.
The only time
keep your hands to yourself.
The only time I ever really did well at roulette was it was a work function, so I really couldn't win anything, and I won a bunch of stuff. You know, I'm thinking the one time I do well, the one time I only played once for real. So, but the one time I've had luck in any type of game I didn't. I ended up having to give stuff away.
Man.
One time, Josh and I were playing blackjack, and I think the opening deal you had an 8, and Josh said, "I'll stay," because he likes to live dangerously.
I tried to hit on 22.
I'll stay. So there you go. It's going to be a big road trip out to Wisco today, and then I'll be damned. Nor have I ever been too lucky when it comes to sports gambling. Maybe we can...
I haven't tried that. This year, I definitely want to try that.
Maybe I can change my luck this weekend. I don't know.
I won like $8 last year, I think. I have no idea how. That stuff confuses me.
You won $8?
Something like that. Some dumb number.
At our broadcast last year, we all won when we got to see you drink a cement mixer shot.
Oh.
Because you'd never had one.
Nope.
And then eat a plate of bacon.
Yep.
Will there be a repeat performance for one of those?
Not the cement mixer, but I'm excited about the bacon again.
You're going to get another plate of bacon?
Oh, yeah.
Every other person might have won when Ashley took the cement mixer and watched her, but I was sitting next to her and watching her throw it up basically in a garbage can at her feet.
That
was gross.
Sitting next to you during that was not my favorite experience.
No, I spit it in a cup, and then you were actually nice enough to grab it for me and put it out of the way.
Because I couldn't look at it anymore.
Yeah, see, that makes it more fun for the rest of us. When she's disgusted the people on either side of it.
She's miserable, and it makes me miserable too. And everybody else wins.
Now, hopefully you remember, we had a listener text a while back and ask if he should bring his homemade apple pie hooch to the party. I backed away from that right away, but three of you said you wanted some, so get ready.
I'll give it a shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I backed away from that too. The last time I had apple pie moonshine, it was a long, long night, so.
Well, you can have just a little.
Nah.
I mean, once you get the taste.
Yeah, once you get the taste, it's just
good.
wait a minute, did I just chug half of that?
It's difficult to stop. That's why I immediately said, no, thank you.
And you get the peer pressure. Josh is going to be yelling at me to take shots.
I wouldn't do such a thing. Although it is fun watching you change. And it doesn't take as long as because I think your body just knows, I know what we're doing. And then you get into the smashly mode.
Yeah, I get amped.
Here's the deal. She's Thursday morning. By this time tomorrow, we'll be live from the casino. So we got one more show here in studio. Seeing how we are leaving town after a while today, we're going to squeeze in a thing or two that we normally do on Friday. Like, say, Andrew DePaola of the Minnesota Vikings, I think, is going to come on with us today.
He is.
Mm-hmm. Since we won't get a chance to talk to him tomorrow. I mean, we could, but that's just adding another friggin' task to an already almost impossible situation.
Well, like you said, you worry that nothing's going to work out.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Andrew DePaola, Depot, going to be with us later. We'll take a break. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be right back on the Half-Ass Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
And now is a great time to join their team. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians, dedicated to improving the work-life balance of their employees by providing benefits that include parental leave and 401k match. Apply today at standardheating.com.
We're all juggling life, a career, and trying to build a little bit of wealth. The Brown Ambition podcast with host Mandy and Tiffany the Budgetnista can help.
If I do even consider lending, I always ask myself, will this solve the problem? So I know you don't have your money for mortgage because you don't have a job. So what happens next month? Oh, I don't know. I'm going to have to think about the next month. Now, it's another thing if you're like, hey, Tiffany, I have $1,000 left to pay my car and then I'm car note free and I'll be able to pay you back, the 3 months I used to pay my car note. That solves the problem.
Brown Ambition.
Wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Oh, wow. Josh, we've been so wound up in this sex party that's kicking off in Wisconsin tonight. This stepmother's sex party that's kicking off in Wisconsin tonight that we haven't been acknowledging the coming of Halloween.
Not too far away.
Some of you really love that gimmick.
Get some. Let's go.
Dude, I like that. Eliminate let's go, but I like that slogan. Halloween, get some. I like that.
That'll be fun. I'm a fan.
I'm excited.
So with that said, here we go. Well, I'm not buying it, but
Sex party.
Yeah, we're calling it. Some people call it the Border Bash. I thought we were calling it the Stepmother's Revenge Sex Party this weekend in Wisconsin.
I missed that meeting, but I did write on the one thing I want to make sure I do is I want to get stuck in a slot machine and then have a gentleman come help me, get out of that predicament. Oh no, I'm stuck in a slot machine.
How am I ever going to get out?
Can anyone possibly help me?
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show Stepmother's Revenge Wisconsin Casino Sex Party starts in 12 hours. Okay, so Halloween stuff. I'm not falling for this, but a professional ghost hunter. First off, I'm not falling for that, but I'll try to keep going.
Did you know there's some professional ghost hunters here?
I'm sure
that
there
even
are.
listen to the show.
No. Oh, that's sweet.
They're very creative people. Very creative. A professional ghost hunter from Nashville, Tennessee, says he visited the, quote, most haunted doll in the world. And now folks are convinced that he's cursed.
What's the most haunted doll in movies? Annabelle or Chucky, or are there other ones I'm missing?
I think Annabelle.
Annabelle, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I can't think of any other ones.
I don't follow the genre close enough, but that's an interesting question. The most haunted doll. Ooh, I'm going to go with Lil Penny.
Oh, I love that dude.
It's lost on me, sorry.
It's a 90s reference.
Lil Penny. He was great. Josh, you remember Lil Penny?
It's not ringing a bell.
It was a little Penny Hardaway doll, and it had the voice of Chris Rock. How possessed is that?
Oh, I don't remember that. I was thinking Teddy Ruxpin always kind of creeped me out.
He was obviously possessed by the devil. Look up, I can't believe you don't remember this, Josh. Those were really brilliant and funny commercials. Was it Reebok tennis shoes?
Reebok tennis shoes, yeah. And Little Penny even had a song on the Space Jam soundtrack.
I don't remember this at all.
Look up one of the ads. It's
directed by me, starring you and Tyra Banks, be a smash.
Yeah, that's fine, Spike. Listen, Spike, no disrespect, but I'm trying to watch my main man Penny dismantle the Knicks.
What's up, Spike? What's up?
Hey, Penny, pass it to Nick. No, not Nick. Horace. Penny, pass it to Horace. He's open. On the baseline. On the baseline. What? 5 seconds.
Penny. Thanks a lot.
Hey, just trying to help him, man. Now, Spike, about that film. Is this an action flick? Because I do my own stunts.
That's Lil Penny.
He's talking to Spike Lee there.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a haunted doll? That's it right there.
Back to Teddy Ruxpin. I have one of those bears.
Oh,
for some
here we
reason.
go again. Is this the story about the doll that worked even though the batteries weren't in the back of the doll?
No, that was Amazing Amanda. No, I have one of these one of these bears. I got it from a one-night stand. I went over to this guy's house and he had this creepy bear, and I had no idea it was Teddy Ruxpin until now.
Dana got super gonorrhea from a one-night stand.
Yeah, I did.
I was just going to say, if we're going to trade stories about what we got from one-night stands, I think I'll take a Teddy Ruxpin over some of what...
Sorry, Ashley, I think I interrupted you.
Oh, no, you're fine. Yeah, and he said I could have it, and the one-night stand went badly. It did not go well, but I still took the bear in the morning.
Was this a legit one-night stand, meaning you didn't know this person, but by the end of the night you had intercourse?
No, we met on one of the dating apps.
Don't ring the bell, Wapple, when the answer is no.
So maybe more of a booty call situation then?
Yeah, because we had discussed this before. I had always thought a one-night stand meant you go to a party and you hook up with someone you'd never met before, and then you never talk to them again.
Yeah.
I've never had one of those.
That's the ultimate. That's the ultimate true one-night stand is where you meet someone and an hour later you are in the wheelbarrow position. Don't you want to? You're a believer in haunted dolls, Ashley.
Yes,
What was
I am.
the name of this doll again? You just said it?
Amazing Amanda.
Amazing Amanda. You claimed that there were no batteries in the back of the doll, but it was still talking and walking around your bedroom when you were a kid.
Yeah, it was absolutely terrifying.
That never happened.
It's a permanent memory in my mind, but it was obviously when I was little, so I'm sure the memory's skewed a little, but...
I thought you said your parents backed you up on this.
Yeah, they did. I remember we put it in the closet, my parents' closet at first, and it was still making noise, and it freaked my folks out, too, so they were like, nah, that thing's going in the trunk of the car.
Wapple, did this happen?
I don't think so.
Well, what do you mean? Then you rang the bell.
Sorry, it's my
wiener. We got to take that.
It's your wiener.
Your wiener rang the bell?
Yeah, it keeps ringing it.
I don't understand. You don't think that it happened, Wapple?
No.
Yeah, you're not alone. The most haunted doll in the world. Again, I was saying, this ghost hunter looked at it, visited it, and now folks say he's cursed. There are a couple of... Oh, Josh, by the way, a minute ago you said you've never had a legitimate, true, pure one-night stand?
No.
Well, where the hell are we going to be in 12 hours? Wisconsin.
Hey.
If there's ever a place to have a one-night stand, it's in Wisconsin. So 2 guys were involved here in this doll haunting or hanging out with a haunted doll. One dude is named Kalani Smith, and also a Canadian YouTube person known as... Oh, listen to this. I know some ladies who like the sound of this. Known as Exploring with Josh.
I don't know one lady that'd be interested in
I know
that.
some ladies who would like to explore with Josh. So you got Kalani Smith and a guy who, a grown person who wants to be known as Exploring with Josh. They performed something called a blood ritual sacrifice with a doll called Robert the Doll.
It's kind of lame.
You know, a couple people texted in and said Robert the Doll. He must be known. Never heard of Robert the Doll.
Sounds here, Cubby, in the story like he is known to folks who follow such things. The story says that many people have come and looked into the eyes of Robert the Doll, and then they experienced the following, which would never happen otherwise. Listen to what these people experienced after looking into the eyes of Robert the Doll, because you're going to say, well, that never happens to people. These people experienced car trouble.
Uh-oh.
Marriage trouble. And some people have even gotten cancer. Those things never happen to people normally. It must have been Robert the Doll.
Robert the Doll is very creepy looking.
He is.
I don't even think he has a mouth.
Do those porcelain dolls that maybe your grandmas have, those kind of creep you out at all?
Yes, definitely.
Maybe just because they're scary in movies. I wonder if it would bother me if I didn't see TV shows or movies that made them freaky.
Sorry. My turn? Okay.
Yeah,
when
go
when I bought the house in Wisconsin, when I went and toured it the day before or whatever, they had those porcelain dolls broken apart. And they were like the heads of them were pushed into the cobblestone basement. It was weird. There was arms and all around the walls of the basement and stuff.
Well, obviously there must have been brutal murders in that home.
Maybe you should have seen that as a sign.
I probably should have.
Things didn't go well at that house.
Josh's grandmother didn't have porcelain dolls, but she did have a James Garner doll. I'm allowing the older folks to get the joke and for the younger folks to be wildly confused.
Well, look up James Garner. You'd understand.
Wildly confused.
You'd understand.
That's a good-looking man.
James Garner? Oh, heck yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Robert the Doll lives in a museum in Key West, Florida. The doll is a boy dressed in a sailor suit holding a small dog. Robert the Doll allegedly is how you say it. Robert the Doll allegedly has supernatural abilities that allow him to move and to giggle and he is believed to have inspired, who has two thumbs and is effing tired of hearing about Chucky? This guy right here. But Robert the Doll is believed to have inspired the 1988 Chucky film Child's Play.
Well, plenty of people are aware via text here. Apparently, they also did an episode of that Ozzy Osbourne and Jack Osbourne show, their road trip show.
Oh, God, that show sucks.
Oh, did you watch it?
I watched it once. It's absolutely brutal.
Okay, I never got around to it. I mean, I loved the Osbournes, but I never got around to that one. And people are saying, like, if you were to mock Robert, he'll curse you.
Mm-hmm.
He's possessed by a demon.
One look at Robert can unleash a curse, according to the story. The doll will curse people that film him without permission. And I guess that's what this Kalani Smith and Exploring with Josh did. They didn't ask permission.
How would you go about getting permission?
Well, you ask the doll.
You just ask.
Didn't you just hear?
And then he answers?
Well, no, you just ask him.
Okay.
That's all it takes. According to
say
this,
no if he didn't want to, Ashley.
Oh.
What aren't you understanding here?
So they didn't ask his permission, and then they made, like I was saying earlier, whatever a blood offering is. The Smith dude said it felt like that they caught on fire. It got insanely hot. And then they both ended up puking their guts out like the new guy in the corner. Then they had to get the hell out of there.
At least 5 minutes late, Jesus says that she met Robert the Doll, and they were told that they had to say goodbye to him or he'd be mad.
Oh, wow.
He kind of sounds like, well, boy, I don't want to say anything.
Yeah.
He's tough to please. It sounds like. I don't know him, though. If you're listening, I don't know that for sure. It's just I'm basing it on text we're receiving.
Exploring with Josh says that ever since shooting the video with Robert the Doll, he's had bad luck. There was a canceled flight. Lost baggage. Again, things that never happen to people normally.
That happens in like 90% of flights.
And he's had inflammation in his eye. He said he apologized to Robert and plans to undergo a cleanse, a colon possibly, I'm not sure, because he just, quote, can't take this anymore.
Yeah, what do you have to do, sage the house? Is that the kind of thing you do in a
Sounds
situation
right,
like
yeah.
that?
Mm-hmm.
If it's strong enough, yeah.
If you're the type that whacks off over all these things involving ghosts and demons and Satan and such, how do you say this again? A British university is offering a master's degree in magic and occult science. And I know it sounds like a tall order to go all the way out to British to take a class or two. But I don't know, maybe you're some SAWFT trust fund baby that can fly away to the United Kingdom whenever you want to. You got to go all the way out to the United Kingdom to take this class. And it's the United Kingdom, remember, so the names for things and the words they use are going to be stupid. It's called the University of Exeter. Exeter, E-X-E-T-E-R. And they're offering this class for those who just go buck wild over magic and the occult. There will be 2 professors teaching you all about the occult. Professor Richie Blackmore and Professor Tony Iommi.
Nice.
Along with a very frightening special appearance by King Diamond.
What about Ian Astbury?
The lead singer of The Cult?
That's right. Is he a part of it?
I don't know. He looks the part, doesn't he?
It would seem appropriate for him to be a guest speaker.
Because he is in The Cult.
He is in The Cult.
I'm kidding about Richie Blackmore and Tony Iommi, but if you're an old school rock fan, old school metal fan, you know where I'm going with that one. Those guys were known to be pretty deep into that kind of thing when they were younger men. I think as they got older, King effing Diamond, the only guy from the world of heavy metal that ever legitimately scared me, and he still kind of makes me nervous.
When I was a kid, Ozzy Osbourne scared me. He never freaked you out at all?
Not really.
All the stories about him and stuff. And there was an older kid. The first time I really started getting into that was maybe end of fifth grade, early sixth grade, somewhere between. There was an older kid, a senior that we knew, who would tell us all these stories and say they're real devil worshippers, and he kills animals and does all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I remember as a kid hearing about the stories of
Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath's. Just the darkness of their music, and then I listened to the music and thought, yeah, that's kind of spooky.
And playing it backwards would possess you, and you'd hear these types of things.
I mean, I'll admit that
I bought all of it.
Some of the stories about Ozzy were a bit concerning, but King Diamond legitimately scared the hell out of me the first time I saw him and heard his music.
What about King of Diamond?
Oh,
feel a little bit differently about that one.
Done some
don't
things
you?
I'm not proud of there.
This magic and occult science program will analyze the history of magic and witchcraft, as well as an analysis of the occult in literature, philosophy, archaeology, sociology, psychology, drama, and religion. Whoops, I already failed.
I say money well spent on that master's degree.
I would fail
That'll
that.
open the door anywhere.
That sounds like a lot of work right there. You know what's missing in that lineup? They mentioned sociology and psychology and literature. Assonomics.
Was that the guy from Peacemaker? John Cena thing?
Never saw it. John Cena? No, many years ago, I went to the Boom Boom Room with a couple of buddies, and one of them, once we were watching all these naked girls walk by, one of them started telling stories of his dating life. And he was kind of, almost talking down to me and the other guy about what he knows about women. I had never heard this term before, and I laughed my balls off. So this buddy of mine's going on and on about, when a woman says this, she really means that. And when you're dating a woman, you should do this and never do that. And we just sat there listening, and when he was done talking, he said, fellas, that's basic assonomics right there. I had never heard that before. It was about 10 years ago. Assonomics. All right. This is maybe getting further into the topic than necessary, but it says here now, this program, this master's degree, master's class in magic and occult science will allow people to re-examine the assumption that the West is the place of rationalism and science, while the rest of the world is a place of magic and superstition. Your final exam will be to dig up a dead body, give it a brain, and then you have 3 months to prepare that body to perform a rendition of Puttin' on the Ritz with you at a theater full of illustrious guests.
Abnormal. The Brotherhood is reminding me, John Cena, thugonomics.
Yep.
He definitely was the professor of thugonomics. Mm-hmm. We met him back in those days.
He did lead many classes in thugonomics. Yes, I've forgotten all about that.
Assonomics does sound like a WWE bit, though.
It does, yeah. Mm-hmm. Something like Val Venus may have done. Or
Mr. Ass.
Or the Ass Man, yeah. Uh-huh.
Did you guys know that interest in magic and the occult has become big with the young people?
Sure did.
You did
probably
know
think
that.
Like Harry Potter for something like that.
Oh, that makes sense. Harry's Potter and all that. Yeah, it says here that young people, the younger, less religious generations are big into witchcraft and this and that. And a lot of them, when they get on that silly TikTok, they go with the hashtag WitchTok.
That's kind of cute.
You ever get into that, Ashley, into that kind of like Wiccan stuff or witchcraft or anything?
I've checked it out before. I joined like a newsletter for Wiccans at one point, but the emails got to be too much.
The emails got to be too much?
Yeah.
It's hitting you up daily?
Yeah.
I bet nobody's ever left that group for that reason. That's hilarious.
Speaking of college classes, apparently now you can sign up to learn about the art of influencing.
There in some of the community ed, they teach that now. How to be a YouTuber, how to be an influencer, things like that.
You can go ahead and snatch up a college degree with that gimmick. Oh my God, as a society, we are in so much trouble. Mm-hmm. It's come off the rails. There's no stopping it.
It's all over for us.
They call it here in the story a first-of-its-kind college major. They'll teach you how to be an influencer. And they'll teach you content creation. Now, the catch is kind of like this devil class I was telling you about. You got to go all the way to effing Ireland for this. The program is only available at a place called Southeast Technological University in Carlow, Ireland. This here college already offers a class called Digital Hustle. Which is taught by TikTok folks who have totally gone viral. So you know that they can show you how to.
Oh, yeah, they're experts.
If you go for this, you'll get a chance to turn your habit of pressing your stupid face up against your cell phone or laptop all day into a career by becoming an expert in social media theory. And you'll learn how to connect with target demographics online. Schools here in the States like the University of Southern California, Cornell, and Duke have offered one-off courses in influencer strategy, business, and communications. But this year's school in Ireland is the first to dedicate an entire major to this nightmare.
Ag Engineering Jesus said, influencer training. Step 1, have nice boobs. Step 2, bounce. That'll get you some clicks.
Yeah.
Dude, that is beautiful, the way you said that. More and more young people are interested in turning influencing into a career. According to some arithmetic and a survey or two, it says here that the majority of young people say they could, quote, easily make a living as an influencer. Well, let her buck, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know about that. With all like the social media sites just taking a turn for the worse, I don't think that stuff is going to be as prevalent in the future as it is now.
You don't?
No, because I mean,
I don't see that going away.
Twitter's already turned to garbage. I know a lot of people my age are started getting off Instagram because all it is ads and influencers, and it's annoying.
Well, there'll just be something new.
Yeah, I suppose. There's TikTok.
There's Twitch.
It always recycle. I mean, it went from AOL to MySpace to Facebook to Instagram. So there's always going to be something.
Ugh.
Yeah, I think they'll just keep churning out more. Like I said, they have it in community ed. I think it's going to be around for a while.
That's insane.
You going to go?
No, I'm too old.
Oh, you are? There's
It's for like middle school kids.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be kind of creepy if you showed up.
Yeah, yeah, it's a bunch of 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, and then me.
Hello, fellow kids.
Did you guys hear about the ancient man standing around with his penis in his hand? And I'm not talking about Tommy Lee.
Yep.
Tommy Lee, by the way, just did post a couple of D-pics. Not his own, but he's been posting those. And also he posted a photo of him holding a dirt-covered dildo that he said he found on his property where he's building a home.
Oh.
He is...
Glad to hear he's doing well.
Yeah.
Perpetually? Is that a good word for something that just never ends, Josh?
Yeah, that's the perfect word.
He is perpetually 17 years old. Tommy Lee. I used to be a fan of the guy, but...
Oh, me too.
Dude,
big time.
I mean, you're 60. Let's just dial it back a little bit. Show a little bit of maturity. At any rate, archaeologists found an 11,000-year-old statue of a man choking his chicken.
It's quite the chicken. You can see it on 93x.com.
And I know what you're saying. You're saying, is this the discovery we've all been waiting for that could shed new light on a mysterious Neolithic culture? Yes, it most certainly is. And I'm so glad you asked. But for most folks, we're just going to giggle our asses off because it's an old-ass statue of a dude pulling on his damn dong. I'm going to try not to get too archaeologically specific here, as I'm known to do. I'll just tell you that this perverse statue was found in southeast Turkey in an old temple. It's older than the damn hills, from thousands of years ago, before the Egyptian pyramids were stacked up, before the Rolling Stones. It's a dude, he's pulling on himself, and then there's also a statue of a leopard there, too, which suggests that maybe there was some bestiality back then. I don't know where to go with that.
Well, you got to be brave to try and have sex with a leopard, that's for sure.
Got to be fast, too.
Oh, I am fast in my lovemaking. It's over before you know it.
But Wampo, you don't have to be so fast because leopards, like cougars, they come to you. You don't have to chase them down. They come to you. I'm not trying to alter anybody's plans for the day or cause anyone to abruptly quit their jobs or anything, but according to the story here, it says that this discovery could rewrite what we know about Neolithic culture.
Man, I wasn't expecting to get that deep today.
Interesting, this area where they found this statue beating its meat is a hot spot for penises. Apparently, it's known for all different types of old dong-related statues and such. There was some other statue dude found there that's in a pose where it looks like it's protecting its erect penis with both hands. Maybe because that leopard walked in, licking its chops. I don't know. Maybe it's a statue of the very first hockey goalie, but it's protecting its gear. It almost don't touch my. I don't know. And this is 11,000 years ago.
So people have always been obsessed with dongs. Then is what it sounds like.
No statues of women have been found in the area. It was just us bros back in those days, Cubby, with our D's out.
Here's that way.
Big fat ancient circle jerk.
They dug up basically a Bonehenge, like a Stonehenge of penises.
Dude, Bonehenge.
You guys see that photo?
No.
It's just all wieners.
Yep.
I've never seen any.
Oz. It's like watching an episode of Oz.
Oh!
It's like an ancient penis convention.
It is.
I've never heard of Bonehenge, but I like the sound.
Just came up with it.
Okay. Got time for one more. What is this nonsense? A young couple bout to get married. They put a $231 speeding ticket on their wedding guest registry thing so their wedding guests might pay for it.
It's kind of funny.
Worth a shot.
Did anybody here have a registry?
Yeah. We did.
Anything weird on? Well, you had the hot dog roller.
I had the hot dog roller.
Which I wanted to buy, but somebody snatched that up immediately.
Yep, and I did get the hot dog roller, and it didn't work.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was so disappointing.
Josh, I remember my first marriage, the better one, I call it.
Oh.
I remember going around Target, picking out things for our wedding registry thing, and I couldn't believe it. I had no idea that was something that folks do.
I was yelled at when making my registry because I guess I wasn't putting any expensive things on there because some people like to split gifts or some people like to go all out. I guess, I got yelled at for having things that were only like around $50.
I had no idea that was a thing. I remember when my first wife said, okay, well, then we're going to go to Target and pick out the things that we want folks to buy for us. And I said, what? I was totally naive to everything about marriage. And there's my future wife saying, okay, let's get this blender and this. And I was just as naive to the items that a married couple might need.
A lot of crock pots.
She was... Let's get this crock pot. Let's get this. And I'd say, well, why? We're going to cook. We're going to cook for ourselves. We do. I mean, that's how lost and unprepared I was in every possible way.
I was the same way. We were going through Target or wherever, and she's scanning things, and in my head, I'm just thinking, I'm not saying this out loud, but I'm thinking like, well, we don't need that. We definitely don't need that. We'll never use that. And
did you ever use any of that?
No, we didn't.
See, that's the thing. In the end, I was so clueless. It wasn't on purpose, but I ended up being right. I kept asking, why would we want that? Why would we want this?
Really?
Well, yeah.
I ended up using like the majority of the stuff I got, but I also like to cook.
Well, there
and a
you
lot
go.
Of it was kitchen stuff.
In the end, we barely touched any of the items, and we split them 50-50 when the divorce happened, and then I think I gave away... Here's a waffle maker. I'm never going to use those friggin' stupid things.
You guys got like the actual guns and got to walk around the store?
It wasn't an actual gun. It was
yeah, I know, like a price gun.
I don't remember how it worked. I don't know if we wrote it down or what. But
I don't know if they do it like that anymore. Everything now is just online.
So here's this cute couple. They want their friends and family to pay for their wedding. To pay for their speeding ticket. It's a cute trick. It says here now then, the average cost of a wedding is around $29,000 these days. Well, hell, it doesn't have to be. I can tell you that right now, by God. Doesn't have to be.
Here's more.
A little housewarming to new beginnings. Actually, I gave this to you for your wedding.
This model?
No, this exact one.
I'm sorry. I'm embarrassed. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I hope you like it.
I love it. Thank you.
and I bet in my first marriage, I bet we did get a salad shooter. What was that? What was that product they're trading back and forth in
Bread
old
maker.
school? We probably did have all those things. And I remember saying, well, I hope you don't expect me to use these things. I don't ever plan on cooking ever, anything. And most of them did just sit in the cupboard until the show was over.
We didn't, but I was 32 when we got married. It just seemed at that point, like Ashley said, we've got crock pots and stuff. Just come to the wedding.
You had some things already.
Yeah, we were good.
And you had a little bit of an idea of, whether or not you'd be the kind of guy that would hang out in the kitchen all day making dinner. I did not know what to make of any of it, really.
This got lost on me when it happened, but you're right. Ask me about CrossFit Jesus. Ashley just did a back in my day about wedding registries. You just got married like a year ago or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah. I guess I don't know what he means by that. What does that mean?
But you by saying back in my day, it sounded like it was a long time ago.
Yeah,
you got married like 2 years ago.
Oh, right. Okay.
Back 18 months ago when I got...
Oh, yeah, the good old days.
You young kids don't know how good you've got it. She says at 25 years old, coming up on 26 on Halloween. Happy birthday, Ashley.
Thank you.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Fox 10's Troy Hayden is live tonight in Philly, where he caught up to some D-backs fans cheering on the home team. Troy, you found the one?
No, we found no D-backs fans. Not one. We were here for almost 2 hours. I'm telling you, this place is owned by Phillies fans. Christina, we've been enjoying your hometown. I got to tell you, we haven't been to a Wawa yet. We need to go to the Wawa. That was a great suggestion. But look who we just found during this live shot. We found the one Diamondbacks fan here.
Let's go Snakes, baby!
Woo! Are you okay? Have people been nice to you?
They actually haven't been too bad, but the team's going down tonight.
Oh, man.
He's taking his life into his own hands.
No. Apparently, Arizona Diamondback fans don't travel too well. At Game 2 of the National League Championship Series, you heard there a live newscaster, a Janelle Klein on-the-scene type character from an Arizona television news station, was there at the ballpark in Philadelphia looking for an Arizona Diamondbacks fan. He didn't find one for, 3 hours?
It was over 2 hours. Yeah.
Finally found one, and I was reading that, so now the series is moving over to Arizona. I was reading that Diamondbacks fans aren't even that interested in going to their home ball games that you can get a ticket for $10.
Yeah, it's weird.
Where tickets in Philadelphia were $300 some odd.
Exactly.
They don't have a hell of a lot of confidence, especially now that the series is 2-0. They figured, F it, I'll sit at home and watch it on TV.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't seem like a very passionate fan base when you think of fan bases that are pretty rabid. I
don't know much about them.
D-backs fans don't usually come up that often.
What's Arizona?
Yeah.
Laid back crowd, aren't they?
A lot of retired people.
A lot of Minnesotans, really. Maybe that's why. Maybe if the Twins game was being played there, they'd be going.
A lot hot college chicks at ASU.
Oh, dude, I went through there once and I almost had a heart attack. The Houston Astros, their bats started snapping at the Texas Rangers last night. Right away last night, like an angry dog. And the Astros won Game 3 of the American League Championship Series on the road. She was an 8-5 final. Today and tonight, there'll be plenty of action tonight at the Sportsbook at Turtle Lake Casino, starting at 4 o'clock, Game 3 of the NLCS we were just talking about, Philly at Arizona. That'll be on TBS. And then you get Game 4 of the American League Championship Series tonight on FS1. The Pigs are at home tonight against the Los Angeles Kings. We'll probably have that one up on a screen there at the Sportsbook, 7 o'clock on Bally Sports North, with the Kings coming in with Marty McSorley and Yari Curry and Rob Blake and Tony Granato and goaltender Rob Stauber, their regular roster.
To look that up.
7:30, Rob and Jolio is going to join us.
Andrew DePaola, I think you're trying to say.
Long snapper from the Minnesota Vikings. Andrew DePaola will join us a day early this week, since we'll be in Wisconsin tomorrow. We're looking forward to that. Randy Shaver, too. Josh's News is coming up next.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
And now is a great time to join their team. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians, dedicated to improving the work-life balance of their employees by providing benefits that include parental leave and 401k match. Apply today at standardheating.com.
You loved Lala Kent on Vanderpump Rules. Now get to know her on Give Them Lala.
I used to be so down with dudes giving me pet names right off the bat. The second a dude, I first meet him and he calls me baby, I'm like, and we're done here. Goodbye.
Really?
Yeah, don't call me babe, baby, boo, bye.
Interesting. That's
but
a big
I
red
can
flag.
call them boo because I call everybody boo.
What if that's their excuse?
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, you don't. You're a man. You move different than me.
Watch what Lala is talking about on YouTube or search for Give Them Lala wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
Passion is crazy, you know what I'm saying? You know, that sounds like a crime of passion went down here on this block.
That's certainly what it does sound like. An Ontario police officer faces criminal charges when, following allegations, she broke into a former boyfriend's home and assaulted his new girlfriend while on duty. The alleged victim, Chantel Stamkos, said Constable Amanda Farrell was upset her ex-boyfriend had moved on and then broke into their home to confront the couple.
It was 15 minutes of terror. It was very scary. She was in full uniform, hand on her weapon most of the time.
The couple told Farrell that if she didn't leave, they'd call the police, to which the enraged ex-girlfriend kind of awesomely said, I am the police.
I just feel like people should know. I just feel like it's not right that someone like that can carry a weapon and have that authority and be a police officer. I don't think that's who the police would want to have representing them, and I think people should know that that happened.
After the alleged incident, Farrell filed charges against her ex-boyfriend and said he had assaulted her. Then she later recanted that. Farrell is set to appear in court tomorrow.
Well, that would be pretty scary. I am the police.
I would stop being scared for a second and be like, all right, that was pretty cool.
Respect. You get what do kids say now? You got that riz. Yeah, respect. A professor at the Florida Institute of Technology was arrested this week after a basketball player at the college had his car damaged earlier this year. Police said they responded to the school's gym in January after the player reported his doors had been scratched in all directions, almost as if someone was drawing on his vehicle. The driver's side mirror had also been broken and was hanging by its wires on the side of the car, police said. The player told police his ex-girlfriend may have been involved, as they'd broken off their relationship shortly before then.
Sure.
However, she later told him that she wasn't responsible, explaining she was in Virginia for a work training. Investigators next looked at her assumed boyfriend, 56-year-old Douglas Willard, a professor at the school. He happened to frequent the gym. Detectives said, scandalous by the way, detectives said video surveillance leading up to the incident showed Willard entering a nearby workshop at the Student Design Center, grabbing a crowbar and an unidentifiable object that he put in his pocket. After leaving the building with the crowbar, footage showed a white SUV, similar to Willard's, drive from the center to the gym's parking lot and park next to the player's car. A person is then spotted getting out of the SUV and walking to the vehicle where the damage was located before returning to the SUV and driving away. Footage taken hours afterwards shows that SUV parking back at the center before Willard and the ex-girlfriend are seen walking in together. In May, detectives said they spoke with the ex-girlfriend about the footage, and she denied being in a relationship with Willard or telling him about her prior tumultuous relationship. She didn't have any explanation for why Willard would damage the player's car or why she was in his vehicle. Following an investigation, Willard was eventually taken into custody on Tuesday.
So, Cubby, are we talking about a 56-year-old man that allegedly was dating a college girl?
Sounds that way, yeah.
I want a divorce.
4 men were arrested in an Atlanta housing community for squatting in a home and running an alleged illegal strip club out of the residence.
Sweet.
That's convenient if you live in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
A SWAT team infiltrated the home Sunday, arresting 4 men who were illegally residing there. Neighbors said the group of 4 were neighbors from hell who ran an alleged strip club on the weekends, street raced up and down the residential streets, and occasionally, for some reason, had live horses roaming the yard.
It was always something going on in that house. A lot of partying. They had a illegal strip club on the weekends. One day they had live horses.
Live horses?
What? That's sweet.
Neighbors say they are relieved following the arrest.
We were out walking this morning. We all looked at each other like, oh my God, we finally had a good night's sleep.
Local residents say they regularly did complain about the squatters, but nothing was done until Sunday when they were so thankful the SWAT team raided the trashed property.
I don't need horses running around my neighborhood, but I sure would like to have a neighbor that was running an illegal strip joint.
That would be, like Josh said, very convenient.
As seen on LAPD body camera video, a burglary suspect left off an apartment building, bounced off the roof of a house, landed on a walkway moments before an officer shot him, and he survived all that. 27-year-old Jeffrey Askew will be fined, although based on his criminal actions that day, Askew appears to be a bit crooked.
To do such an act, I highly doubt that this is the first time that they've done this, and we're lucky that they made that choice because we can take these people off of the streets and not have any more people victimized.
Police claim Askew, along with 20-year-old Dayan Henderson, 22-year-old Aaron Flenoy, who, if you move around the letters in his last name, Flenoy, you can spell felony, and the ironically named Justice Lockhart, who's 25, all forced their way into an apartment, bound and gagged a man, and stole the keys to his car.
We have 4 young teenagers who are on the property. They just robbed a resident. They physically robbed him in the parking lot. They're going to people's units, and they're trying to break into a unit right now.
Officers arrived, taking Lockhart and Flenoy into custody without incident, but Askew risked life and limb to get away. He leapt off the apartment building onto a nearby single-story home. When he landed, he bounced off the sloped roof and then crashed onto the walkway below. He lay prone on the ground as officers told him not to move or reach for his waistband multiple times. But Askew pulled an object from his waistband and pointed it in the officer's direction, prompting the shooting.
So chaotic.
Turns out the item he pointed at police was a hammer. As for 20-year-old Dan Henderson, he tried to get creative in his escape, attempting to change clothes and leaving out the front door as if he were a different person, but officers were not fooled. They made that arrest.
This guy a cyborg or something?
The video is crazy. It's on 93x.com. That was a long jump, and he survived all of it, bouncing off the roof, bouncing off the walkway, getting shot. He survived all of it. 2 brothers and another man are facing federal charges following a kidnapping, which took some bizarre twists, including an attempted waterboarding when they tried to make the victim help them lure the intended target. I say intended target because they kidnapped the wrong guy.
Oh, no.
The suspects kidnapped the man at gunpoint outside his apartment in Plantation, Florida last Friday. They tossed his cell phone out of the car as they drove to a home where they took him inside. Eventually, though, they realized they kidnapped the wrong person, mistaking him for his co-worker who was the intended target. He told police the men threatened him, put an electric drill to his skin, and then pointed a firearm at him before dousing him with water in what prosecutors said was a simulated waterboarding. The victim told them he thought he was going to drown. Then the 3 gunmen began brainstorming how the victim could help lure the co-workers to them. They provided him with a cell phone. They were able to access his iCloud account to pull his worker's phone number and call him. When they learned his whereabouts, the 3 geniuses drove their vehicle to find him. Apparently, they asked the victim to get the coworker to come outside. Instead, at 2:08 a.m. the next day, the man phoned in a bomb threat in an effort to get a rapid police response to the building, and it worked. The suspects were arrested. All 3 face a maximum life in prison sentence if convicted.
Oof.
An exploding bear in California led police to a house of guns, drugs, and explosives, and ultimately an arrest. The San Bernardino Police Department posted video to its social media channels Tuesday depicting what they say is a teddy bear explosion in a parking lot. Recently, patrol officers responded to a 911 call after a business owner was notified by witnesses of a possible explosive device inside a large teddy bear, and it detonated at the front of a business, the Post said. Video shows someone getting out of a parked SUV and placing the cuddly toy on the ground a few parking spots away. Seconds after the person gets back into the car, smoke starts to emanate from the unsuspecting child's toy. Seconds later, a whistling sound is heard shortly before the cuddly fella is violently torn apart by an explosion, teddy bear stuffing guts everywhere. Investigators ultimately identified the suspect and searched the man's home, where they found guns, more than 200 rounds of ammunition, over a kilo of meth, illegal fireworks, a ballistic vest, and metal pipes consistent with explosive devices.
The video of the little teddy bear getting blown to pieces is on 93x.com.
It's tough times for teddy bears right now. We had a story yesterday about a teddy bear getting banged, and now a teddy bear getting exploded in a parking lot. Man.
You're right. There's a lot of crimes on teddy bears lately.
Can you believe that animal had illegal fireworks?
That was quite shocking, I must admit. Yeah. Great Falls, Montana got completely blanketed in mountains of tumbleweeds, which were blown into homes after some heavy wind gusts blew through the area, and the resulting footage is quite insane. You can see this on 93x.com. Local news station KRTV sent a crew out to speak with locals in front of their homes, which had been enveloped in the tumbleweeds. One woman can be seen standing in front of a house with so many tumbleweeds stacked up that you can barely see the roof of the home.
I heard it was bad because my husband had been out earlier, but I didn't think it was that bad. I was pretty shocked. I feel bad for these people. I don't know what they're going to do. Last summer, it kind of built up a little bit, but nothing like this.
The National Weather Service for Great Falls shared similar images of homes being covered after the heavy wind gusts blew through.
Wow, that sounds rough.
That'd be so cool to like pile them all up and then in a safe area and then light it on fire. Just watch it. Whoosh.
Did you see how big these piles are? It's like enveloping homes.
Yep.
Crazy. Burt Young, who played Paulie in the first 6 Rocky movies, sadly has passed away.
Tell me about the stuff.
What about it?
Tell me about the stuff inside. Is it angry? Are you mad because Adrian left you?
She didn't leave, Paul. She died.
Okay.
Sometimes it's hard to breathe. I feel like there's beast inside me.
It's okay, Rocco.
Burt died earlier this month on October 8th at the age of 83, but the announcement wasn't made until yesterday. His manager said Burt was an actor of tremendous emotional range. He could make you cry, and he could scare you to death. Burt's other films included Back to School, Convoy, Once Upon a Time in America, and Chinatown. The actor worked steadily over decades and recently appeared as Joe across 2 episodes of Netflix's Russian Doll, starring Natasha Lyonne. He guest starred in many other TV series, including MASH, Miami Vice, and The Equalizer, and he also appeared on an episode of The Sopranos. Burt Young was 83.
Ain't that sad, Cubby?
That is too bad. You know, we've talked about this before, as some of these actors that and musicians that we loved as kids start to pass. It's tough. And it reminds you how old, you specifically are getting.
Mm-hmm.
Looking a little ahead for the weekend, there's a few new things for your ears to enjoy, including a new collection of tunes from Blink-182 called One More Time. Blink-182's 10th album is their first with guitarist-singer Tom DeLonge since 2011's Neighborhoods.
Kind of tearing up right now, to be honest.
Crying.
Also out tomorrow, Ice Nine Kills will reissue their 2021 LP, The Silver Scream 2, Welcome to Horrorwood, but they've retitled it to Welcome to Horrorwood Under Fire. The new edition contains 3 bonus tracks as well as an orchestral version of the full original album. And finally this week, the latest from former Dokken guitar god George Lynch with Lynch Mob Babylon. Babylon is the first new Lynch Mob album since 2017's The Brotherhood, which peaked at number 4 on Billboard's U.S. hard rock charts.
Who's that doing the singing?
I forgot to look it up. I even wrote a note, look it up, because I don't know if that's Oni Logan or not.
I wonder if it's that Robert dude.
Could be. Don Dokken, where George Lynch famously, of course, played guitar for, said that they would have been a lot more popular, a lot faster if George Lynch wasn't in the band.
I just listened to Rain on the way in today.
Who?
Rain.
What's Rain?
By Lynch Mob?
The newest song?
No. The older one.
I haven't followed their stuff since about 1990.
Were you looking up who's singing on this album, Wample?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Yeah.
Sounded like that Robert dude who sings with Warrant and used to sing with George Lynch. Hang on one second. Don Dokken said that Dokken would have been more popular if George was not in the band.
Yes, he did. And they would have got more popular quick.
Are these two guys ever going to get over it?
I don't know. He mentioned the personality clash. Warren DeMartini, of course, he said that if they would have stuck with him, Warren, who goes to Rat later on, that he thinks they would have been more popular and they would have blew up quicker.
Oh, for the love of Christ.
It looks like they got this homeboy named Gabriel Colin.
Gabriel Colin.
Gabriel Colin, huh?
It's the first time this dude's been with the band.
You know what? I hate those ridiculous, like overly sexual rock star names. Don't you guys?
Gabriel Colin.
Yeah.
Huh?
They got to knock it off with that.
That's interesting.
Oh,
I like I said, I wrote a note to look it up, and I totally forgot.
And here he is, Gabriel Colin on lead vocals, whatever you call it, lead singer. I hope that Lynch Mob runs into Blink 182 on tour and they beat their asses.
There's plenty more coming out tomorrow, but since we'll be in Wisconsin, that's not our problem. Honestly,
I hear you.
It's not. But if you're interested, you can look for the notable new release post on 93x.com tomorrow morning for the rest of what's new in rock. Running down, I'm not going to have time to play the clips here, so just running down quickly some of the things out this weekend. Killers of the Flower Moon will be in theaters this week based on the book and starring Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio. Martin Scorsese, of course, directed the film.
That looks like a keeper.
Yeah, it looks
I'm
good.
excited to see that.
It'll eventually be on Apple TV Plus. They haven't announced an official date, but so far, early 2024 is what's being speculated.
It looks kind of confusing, but it also looks like a keeper.
And people don't seem to like the accent that Leonardo has in the film.
Oh, I haven't followed that yet.
But I am looking forward to seeing it. A couple more things this weekend from Greg Daniels, the mind behind the American adaptation of The Office, as well as Parks and Rec. Season 3 of the sci-fi comedy drama Upload premieres tomorrow on Prime Video. Tomorrow on Netflix, the new season of the popular animated comedy about a group of teens who are awkward, they're confusing, and they're navigating puberty and young adulthood. Big Mouth, Season 7. I know folks love that one. Tonight's Thursday night football matchup features the Saints hosting Jacksonville.
It's your birthday. Sorry, I was singing along with your birthday song.
South Park co-creator Trey Parker, 54. Happy Hogan in the Iron Man and other MCU movies. Writer, actor, director Jon Favreau, also the man behind Elf and pretty much every successful Disney Plus series nowadays, 57. Evander Holyfield, 61. This text says, happy birthday to our sweet and handsome baby Jace, turning 1 on Saturday from Mom Jaden and Dad, just Josh and Jesus. And happy Saturday birthday to Hatch Daddy Jesus. That's 93X News.
The Minnesota Vikings interview.
Personal bio, 69. He was giving them the business.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Touchdown! Vikings win it!
He's 1-2 pitch. Ground ball left side. Pena's got it to second one. On the first, there's 2. And the Astros come to Arlington and take game 3. Back on the road and back in the win column.
We'll get there. Jaw-jacking a little baseball here before you know it. But first, hello to Randy Shaver.
Good morning.
Randy's here, everybody.
Hey, Randy!
It's Randy. It's the S-Man's in town.
And Waffle said that...
stop it.
Waffle talked to him off air and says he sounds like he's pretty drunk. So...
Waffle, don't give away our secrets.
I know. Me and Randy went partying last night.
Oh, gosh.
Sounds like he's pretty drunk. We got a little bit of a different vibe this morning, Randy.
Yeah?
Tomorrow we'll be broadcasting live from Wisconsin at Turtle Lake Casino, don't you know?
I sent you a little text about that.
Yeah, we can cover that at a later date. Randy Shaver.
He said, "Why is Randy texting us during the show?"
Yeah, why are you bugging us during the?
We got back to you.
We can have these conversations off the. So tomorrow,
no.
We will be broadcasting live from Turtle Lake Casino, and knowing that any remote broadcast at this radio station has the potential to be a total disaster, we figured if we're going to wrap with our long snapper friend Andrew DePaola of the Minnesota Vikings, by damn, we better get it over with today. Andrew DePaola, thank you for joining us.
Hey, guys. Thank you for having me.
Oh, we always enjoy having you. We hope this isn't dumping any pipe wrench into your regular Thursday plans.
Not at all. Not at all.
How is, work-wise, how is your schedule different on a Thursday as opposed to our regular spirited Friday conversation?
This week's a little different because we play Monday. So this Thursday is kind of like a Wednesday setup for us.
Sure.
But normally, there's no difference. I start the same time in the mornings on Thursdays. Fridays, we get finished a little bit earlier.
Okay, I forgot you were playing on Monday night, so that...
I'm glad you remembered, though. You showed up a day early.
Wait, when do we play again?
It's a different kind of a vibe for you anyways because you're playing on Monday. So you got time. You got time to jaw jack with us a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Always got time.
All right, good. Oh, Speaking of making, Christ, I just thought of something. Okay, making an appearance on Monday Night Football. It's Monday Night Football, right, everybody? Where when they introduce the starting lineup, every guy gets to say, I'm from Syracuse University, or maybe a cute joke about their high school or this or that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I was hoping maybe you'd get an opportunity to introduce yourself, but they don't ever give that, what's the word I'm looking for, pleasure to the long snappers, do they?
Not that I've ever seen.
That sucks, because a guy had a funny joke. Did you see this, Josh?
Yeah, I've got the clip.
There was a guy, what the hell is his name, playing offensive line?
Justin Pugh?
Justin Pugh. Are you familiar with the guy, Andrew?
Yeah, I know Justin.
Okay. So apparently, you tell me if I'm wrong about this, he's played quite a stretch of years in the NFL, but as of recently, no one hired him. He's sitting at home on the couch, but the Giants call him and say, hey, look, we're banged up on the offensive line. Would you come play Monday Night Football with us against whoever the hell the Giants play? And he said, sure. And then when they got him, introduced the starting lineup for the Giants, he made kind of a cute joke.
Justin Pugh, straight off the couch.
Straight off the couch. So I was going to go ahead and ask you, if you had any ideas of a cute joke, but it's another example of long snappers not getting the respect, or special teamers in general not getting the respect that they deserve.
I've been petitioning to have us do that, to say our little name and where we're from and all that, but it's been falling on deaf ears. I don't know. I guess long snappers and specialists in general just aren't bringing in the viewers.
We got your back.
Yeah, we do.
I appreciate that, guys.
Is there a way you can just do it anyways?
Yeah, maybe you should just do it for the show.
So I know we do a lot of that pre-recorded stuff, like in the spring for the networks.
Yeah.
That's where they have you look down and then look up real slow and then just kind of sit there for 30 seconds.
Oh yeah. Is that uncomfortable? I think I'd be miserable if I had to do that.
God.
It's just weird because I know they're not going to use mine, so I'm just like, what are we doing here?
Sure. Yeah, I can see why you would.
A texter says, Andrew, they recommend this. Andrew DePaola, Bagel University. What do you think of that?
Bagel University.
Hell yeah, I think if you ever get an opportunity, you should, maybe make a mention of the bagel shop, or
certainly us.
Is there another? Oh, you could say from the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show, you could dump us out on national television anytime you're ready. Not that the country isn't already well aware of us. The world, really. Yeah, a bagel shop joke would be cute.
Man, and let me tell you, I don't know if it's if I'm getting heckled or if it's a good thing, but people in the stands now keep just being like, hey, DePaola, let me get a bagel. And I'm I don't know, okay, yeah, sure, if you pay for it, I mean, I don't know. Is this
you don't get a discount or anything.
Am I getting heckled, or am I is this a good thing? I don't know.
I think they're trying to bond with you.
Let me get a bagel.
There's some bonding going on.
That's kind of your thing now. Well, that's cool. All right, Monday Night Football against the San Francisco. Oh, cripes! Yeah, we'll be watching that one. So yeah, we're heading out to a casino. We got a little special party going on out there. Andrew DePaola will be there. Yeah. Are you a gambling man?
Can't say that I am. Nope.
Blackjack, poker, none of that kind of thing?
No, I've never really gotten into it. I've played a couple times here and there, and it's just not my thing.
I hear you. I'm the same way. I played a little bit of blackjack, played a little bit of poker now and again, but it was never a big thing with my circle of buddies, where Dana was saying his buddies, they were fascinated at a young age, and you couldn't wait to run out to the casino and all that.
Absolutely.
We never really got dialed into that. I think we were a little too derelict for that. You know what I mean? That was too organized an activity maybe for.
I'm going to try sports betting for the first time.
Josh is going to try making some sports bets.
I'd love to ask your advice, Andrew. I don't know if you can get in trouble for that or not, but this will be my first time giving that a shot. Randy's going to help us out. We'll have to ask him tomorrow if he's got any good ideas for us to play some bets.
What are the rules, Andrew DePaola, these days? Because it gets talked about a lot, but no offense, I don't read too deeply into those kinds of articles. What are the rules these days for a player when it comes to sports gambling?
So we absolutely cannot gamble in the NFL. any aspect of the NFL. We can't gamble on the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And then we are allowed to gamble on other sports. However, we cannot gamble on NFL property. So facilities, stadium, team hotel, team bus, team plane, team trip. You can't gamble on any of that.
You go to your grandmother's basement to make a bet.
Yeah. Yep. And
going across the street to the
here's
gas
the funny
station.
thing. Wait, what'd you say?
I was just picturing like a guy like leaving the facility to go across the gas station, place a bet on his phone, then driving back.
I mean, you laugh, but that's what they told us in the meeting. They're like, you need to leave the facility, go across the street if you want to bet. I mean, if it's that important to you, and then come back. But and people always will be like, hey, is there any inside info? What can you tell me? And I'm like, guys, I am the last person to find out stuff about the team. Like we will hear about like trades or people getting cut or any of that stuff like on Twitter or online. Like I don't hear about it before anybody else. So like who's playing, who's not playing, I have no idea.
And being a special teamer, which is the best team on any football club, the offense and defense get all the glory. You guys know I'm a big time backer of the special teams. Are you even aware of the upcoming game plan? Like, can you even say to your wife, well, where are they going to throw the ball this week? Are you even involved in any of that, or is it 100% you guys doing your special team stuff?
I mean, it's pretty much us doing our special team stuff. I mean, I couldn't tell you an offensive play call to save my life.
What about trick plays? Like you guys had the fake punt. I mean, is that like, hey, we might do this today? Do they give you a heads up there?
No.
They don't. Not even that, huh?
So that's fascinating to me. I think that's fascinating.
So I have a question. So if in the body of a game, there are so many injuries to the offensive line, would they ever look to you and say, we need you to play center, like regular center or regular line? If they get to the point where they have no more bodies in the course of a game?
Never.
Okay.
Really?
Wow.
No. I mean, if
so
there would
put
be,
a running
there would
back
have
in
to be.
there
I mean, there would have to be so many people on the team that would go down for me to even be considered in that role.
Wow.
I think that's really interesting, and we can relate a little bit to what we were just talking about. I mean, there are separate entities when it comes to a football team. You got your offense, your defense, your special teams. Andrew and his special teams guys, the kicker and the this and that. You guys have your own little world. That's what you are focused on 100% of the time. We can sort of relate to that. I mean, this morning program is our 100% focus, and it's kind of, and people get confused because listeners will walk up and say, hey, what's up with that new Metallica song that you played tonight? And we'll say, I have no effing idea. There's a new Metallica song? You know what I mean?
Yes.
What's up with this concert? I have no idea, because this is our thing, and simply and 100% this. A lot of folks maybe think there's, so much, there's intermingling of different entities or different.
We don't even get heads up on concert announcements until day of. Nobody trusts us on that kind of thing.
So don't ever feel, Andrew, like oh God, I'm just so clueless. We know exactly how it goes. This is our thing. You've got your thing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've been around it long enough to kind of know how it goes, and you guys talk about like all the secret stuff, like the trick plays and the fakes and all that. Like we go out to practice, and you practice plays and whatever you practice, but I mean, there's so many games within the game. I mean, how many people watch practice as far as like media, national media, outside people. We'll run stuff just to be like, hey, if someone does see it and they're like, hey, they're running this play, you got to be ready for it. Well, it's like we'll never run that in a game. We're just running it to maybe just throw off some people who are watching.
Sure.
And then when the fake came up a couple games ago, like I didn't know we were running it. I went out, we huddled up, and then PP called it, and I was like, oh, shoot, all right.
A little heads up would have been nice.
We're going. We're going.
So on the topic of, I guess, related to gambling in a way, people are wondering, just for fun, would you be able to be in a fantasy football league? Would they allow that?
Yeah.
You can do that.
we can do fantasy football if the cash prize is nothing larger than $250.
Oh, so even if there's money involved, okay.
Yeah,
and
we can do it for fun, or we can do it for up to $250.
So is that a season long, or can you do daily fantasy?
Ooh, that's a good question.
You'd have to read the fine print on that one.
Yeah,
I guess.
wonder if, because obviously there's a multiple different games for daily fantasy that you can play, as opposed to season long, which obviously goes all the way through. There's no money exchange until the end of the year.
Andrew, did you know that Randy Shaver is basically the last fan you ever want to encounter?
Why?
Because he's a sick, demented fantasy football addict.
I am not.
He's not. He's only in what? How many leagues again, Randy?
I'm not even going to say that.
You're a demented addict. And at least I hear, Andrew DePaola, I hear that the last swinging D that an NFLer wants to hear from is some fantasy football dork. That's what I hear.
Sure.
Randy shit. Well, Randy, we bust Randy's balls about being a degenerate sports gambler. He bets against the Vikings every week.
I do. That is not true. It's every other week. That's a whole different story.
Back to other casino gambling, Randy. Do you play blackjack poker? Do you go to Vegas?
Do I go to Vegas?
No,
of course I go to
Vegas. I said you go to Vegas. So do you sit down and play cards against...
I'm not good at that stuff.
No, neither am I.
Yeah, I in fact, it makes me super nervous. So I would say that no, I don't do that.
Nervous,
I
Randy.
like to sports gamble when I'm in Vegas. I'll play slots with my wife. Something where I don't have to think about anything. It's all pure luck.
That's funny.
When you get to the table games, it makes me nervous.
I'm with you.
I just don't do it.
I'm worrying about angering everybody around me because
there's just a lot to think about. I mean,
True.
especially when you play blackjack. Not that I could ever count cards because I can't, but there's things you can control to some extent. Your decision making in that, and that's what makes me nervous.
Well, we had a little conversation about this earlier. It's strategical.
It is.
And
it's more than people would actually realize.
Probably right. And I am the least strategical person on planet Earth. I mentioned that I like to play dice games, 6-5-4, because all you do is you roll the dice and or I won or I lost. Sure. There's no thinking, there's no planning, there's no strategy. I'm a simple moron like that.
Do you mind a couple more questions, Andrew, from some listeners?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, underwhelmingly optimistic Jesus. Can you ask Andrew, are there any restrictions on eating Taco Bell before a game? And is that a gamble he's willing to take?
You know what? And I don't know if anyone's going to believe me on this, but I have never had Taco Bell.
You got to check that out, man.
I think I know what our next field trip is going to be.
No kidding.
Your life has not been lived yet.
Well, how old of a guy are you now, Andrew?
I'm a spry 36.
Okay. Well, I probably never had Taco Bell until I was into my late 20s.
Never in high school?
No.
Wow.
Oh, that's where you go get
that's crazy.
a dozen tacos for $1.
I was terrified of Taco Bell until I was into my mid to late 20s.
Oh, because of your tummy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And plus, there weren't any in my neighborhood. The only one that was anywhere near me was the one there off of 394 and Louisiana. There was none in my neighborhood.
Here's another question for you, Depot. Are you going to try out, or do you have any interest in Olympic flag football?
I mean, I have interest in it. I don't think they have interest in me.
There's no way that's true.
I can relate in a lot of regards.
Well, wait a minute.
I think that's going to be really cool. I think that's going to be a cool event.
There's going to be someone who snaps the football. How would they not want a Pro Bowl long snapper to count on accuracy every time?
That's a good point. Actually.
Maybe you'll find yourself representing the United States.
Maybe. Never say never.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Well, in 2028, you won't be a kid anymore. I don't know.
Depends.
No, he's a spry 36-year-old.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. Never had Taco Bell before.
Why couldn't he be a spry 41?
Randy, how spry were you when you were 41?
Oh, I was pretty spry.
Yeah.
I think you're still spry.
Yes, but had you played professional football for a decade or so?
Oh, well, probably not.
No, you hadn't.
Would have been beaten up a little bit.
You had not. Well, there you go. Oh,
well,
man.
when do you leave town, Depot?
When do I leave town for?
Oh, the game's here, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a home game.
Yeah, I was just asking in the future. Do you have any plans for travel, or do you like to get out? It's MEA this weekend, or
probably March.
Oh, in March. Oh, we'll have to talk about that later on in the season.
Oh, wow.
I know a guy who thought the game was in California.
I ain't mad at you, Cubby. I ain't mad at you.
Oh man!
If I'm being honest, I thought it was in California too, and I had actually thought earlier. I wonder, do they leave on Saturday or Sunday?
That's what I was trying to
Monday
figure
game?
out. Like if he gets an extra night to hang out or something.
When's the bye week, Andrew?
Did they tell
It
you,
is.
or do you find out like the week before?
No, we play we play Monday night after Thanksgiving, and then our bye is after that.
Would you like to go to Taco Bell with the half-assed morning show?
You know what? We can try.
I mean,
we can try.
If you don't feel like it,
We could do it in town, out of town, whatever you want to do.
yeah. If you think
No,
it's gonna,
I gotta tell you the story about Taco Bell, and it involves Kirk, and I hope he won't hurt me for saying this story. But last year we went to a concert, me, him, 2 other players, and we're coming back, and we have curfew at like 11, and it's like 10 something. We're getting close to 11, and Kirk's like, guys, I'm starving. Like we got to get some food. And at this time, like we passed Taco Bell. He's like. I'm like, Kirk, we have curfew at 11. Like, we can't miss this. And he goes, Depot, it's time to live Moss. And he turns right into Taco Bell. And I was like, I'm going to be late for curfew over Taco Bell? I'm like, Kirk. Thankfully, they were closed, so we just kind of kept it rolling. But I was like, he looked me dead in my eyes, and he goes, Depot, it's time to live Moss. And I was like, oh, no.
Is that when Kirko change was made?
Possibly.
He's so cute.
so you swung through, but you didn't eat anything.
Well, they weren't.
It was
open.
closed.
It was closed.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was closed. Well, there you go.
Had they been open, you would have been late though.
Oh, for sure.
Aren't you,
Yeah.
when you're with QB1, though, aren't you kind of giving a couple minutes?
Don't you? I mean, you're hanging with the quarterback there.
I don't want to press that issue. I don't want to find out.
Yeah.
So what do they fine you if you're late for an 11 o'clock curfew?
Again, I don't want to find out, but I think it's like probably in the thousands.
Oh, man.
Wow. Okay.
It's not right.
That's a lot of bagels.
It's a lot of Taco Bell.
Well, hey, guys, speaking of being late, I have to run. I'm sorry to cut you short, but I've got meetings in 2 minutes.
That's okay.
Unacceptable.
All right.
Cool.
We were about ready to throw you off the air anyway.
Yeah,
Well,
you're not breaking up with us. We're breaking up with you.
We will revisit this, Andrew, because I think it'd be fun on your bye week if you have the time. We should go to Taco Bell if you want to try it, and we'll see how you like it. Maybe you'll become some kind of a maniac. Next thing you know, you're doing an endorsement for Taco John's or whatever. Who knows?
Absolutely.
Thanks, Andrew.
See ya.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Good luck on Monday night. The Vikes don't play till Monday night. Here at home, Josh.
Yeah.
Josh.
I knew that.
Josh.
He freaking knew that.
I mean,
Nice
honestly,
prep work, Josh.
you guys, I was even looking at a schedule, and I don't know what I was thinking.
Here's the thing. No one should bust balls. No one should bust Cubby's balls on this. As you guys know, I can barely remember Andrew's name most days because I'm losing my friggin' mind and I'm getting old. Randy, take a look this afternoon and this evening. Take a look at the schedule of games for Friday. No, wait. What day is it today?
Today's Thursday.
Today's Thursday. So, right. That would make sense. Randy should take a look tonight at the schedule of games for Friday. And then when we go on the air tomorrow, remember last year?
You talking about professional games?
Doesn't matter. College. We're going to be at a casino
so
where we
you
can
wanna make some wagers tomorrow.
Right.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you put a parlay together for us last year.
Oh, I did? Okay.
If you remember last year, you put together a handful of games you wanted us to bet on.
Sure.
And tomorrow morning, when we broadcast live from the casino,
do that.
you can say 6.5 points to San Diego State or whatever the language is.
Gotcha.
Just like last year, because you are the guy who follows all this stuff.
All right.
You're the one who's on
And you guys can bet NFL, right?
NFL, college,
whatever you want, we can do
hockey.
it.
So you can take the slips with you. You can bet there, even though you don't have to be there. So you can bet there, take the slips, and then if you win, you can mail it back and get your money.
Oh, I guess I don't know that.
Okay.
You can,
Right.
huh?
Yes,
Preseason NBA basketball, whatever the hell grabs you. Whatever we can cover this tomorrow morning.
Fantastic. I'll try and do some research tonight.
Yeah, maybe make a bet on Friday Night SmackDown, too.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Oh, I don't
Can
know
you
if you
bet
can
on
do that.
wrestling?
No, you can't.
In some place in Vegas you can.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they let you bet on WrestleMania now.
That'd be so fun to go to Vegas for WrestleMania and make so many bets. Oh, my wallet would hurt.
Friday night is SmackDown? right?
Yeah, they do SmackDown Friday nights.
Okay. God, is there a show tonight that we could bet on? There's no shows tonight, is there, Wapple, wrestling-wise?
No.
Because that'd be fun as hell tonight to just sit there. We can't make a casino bet, but you and me and Dana and whoever else wants to get in on the we could just make, who's going to win this match?
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I have been in AEW-related betting parlays.
You told us about that once.
Yeah, and it was cool because you get to, is this person going to use this kind of finisher? How many chairs are going to be used in this hardcore match?
Seriously, they come up with that much detail.
Yep.
I want to.
How many, how many attempted pins?
Yeah.
Or how many kickouts?
How many standing 10 counts or whatever? Years ago, I wiped the floor with my buddies. We made a big bet on the King of the Ring final. 1999 WWE King of the Ring final. I mopped the floor with my pals because I bet on Kurt Angle to win. And I believe it was Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit. Who am I missing? Because there's 4. I think isn't that how it works at the King of the Ring, Wapple?
Yeah.
4 guys in the final. Anyway, I cheated. Because if anyone, wrestling fans, remember there was a wrestling website out. I can't remember the name of this wrestling website, but it was loaded with spoilers.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember those sites.
Maybe somebody could text me and tell me there was a real popular one. My friends were not aware of this. So I told them, hey, come to my house. We'll watch the pay-per-view, the King of the Ring. Maybe we'll even bet on it, the tournament. And my buddy said, yeah, they had no idea that all week long I was reading this website with spoilers, Inside Wrestling, whatever it was.
I remember WrestleZone being a big one.
That sounds familiar. And they pretty much said, Kurt Angle is going to get the push. Kurt Angle is going to get the King of the Ring, and then he's going to go on and face The Undertaker. So they told me ahead of time. I cheated. I won all their money, and I never said a word.
I love that for you.
Until now.
So I'll give you one for tonight.
Well, who has a pen and a piece of paper?
I got one.
So you guys are going to be there tonight, right?
Why don't we make it? Sure, go ahead.
So in the NHL tonight, here's a good one. The Blackhawks are at Colorado. Both teams' goalies have been playing really well, and Colorado obviously very good defensively. Take the under in the goal total.
Okay.
So my understanding is the total right now is 6.
Okay.
So take the under tonight.
All right, someone write that down, and we will.
For a low scoring, the game starts at 9:30 our time, so that's plenty of time.
Oh God!
Don't spend a lot. Just dabble in it, but take the under in the game tonight.
Okay, we'll make that bet tonight and get back to you tomorrow if the broadcast works properly. Yeah, we'll start with that. Good idea. A hockey bet. I'm surprised by that, Randy. A hockey bet.
Well, there's not. The NBA's not playing right now. There's
a preseason game tonight. The Wolves and the Chicago.
I would never bet on a preseason.
Because
you never know who's going to play.
You call yourself a degenerate.
I don't know if he's ever called himself.
I don't think there's baseball tonight either. I think baseball's.
There's 2 games tonight.
Oh, there's 2 games. Okay,
Yeah.
I did.
Hey, Josh, have at him. He didn't know there was a baseball game.
I say, would you like me to run down the schedule, Randy?
You know what, Josh? I wasn't looking at that.
Both series play.
Yep.
Ooh.
All right.
4 and 7 tonight.
Okay.
Yep. I forgot who goes first. We'll get to that in just a minute.
I think it's Phillies.
Diamondbacks at 4, Astros, Rangers at 7.
I saw a really strange. Josh found a really strange article on a website called NJ.com. I don't know if that stands for New Jersey.
It does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
NJ.com. It details here. We're going back to football real quick since we were talking to Depot, and then we'll get into whatever happened otherwise. Weird article. It details here how lonely older women. Interested already, everybody? I'm listening.
Wobble perked up.
Lonely older women aren't getting any action from older men in Philadelphia because all the older men want to do is watch Eagles games.
That sucks.
Yeah, but the Eagles only play on 1 day a week. What's going on the other days?
They're getting prepared for that one day.
Yeah, they're older men.
Yeah, maybe Sundays are sex day or something.
You can't be doing it more than once a week if you're an old-timer. The article is titled, How the Eagles Are Sabotaging the Sex Life of Seniors.
I'm sure that's what they're trying to do.
The Philadelphia Inquirer apparently talked to old folks in Philly, And the word is, and this is cute, and if you don't get the reference, I'll explain it to you. The word is, not enough tushes are getting touched in the land of the tush push.
Sure.
Now, if you don't get
the land
it,
of the tush push.
if you don't get the reference, it's a reference to the quarterback sneak play that the Eagles run a lot, where Eagles running backs push the ass cheeks of their quarterback, Jalen Hurts. They push the cheeks apart. I'm kidding. They don't push them apart. They push them in order for him to get an extra yard or two. And I heard the NFL's looking to ban that play. They don't want it.
It's for the way they run it, it's pretty unstoppable.
Yeah, has it not worked?
The way they run it. Well, they run behind Jason Kelsey, and they've just kind of formed like when you watch the geese fly in the V formation.
Yes.
They just form a V, and those running backs just push Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. Cubby, if I'm one running back and you're the other, we each grab a cheek,
take a cheek,
and shove forward. An older gal in Philly named Marcy said that many of the men she meets are duds. They'd rather sit on the couch and watch the Eagles than go out with a nice lady. They don't mention anything about the Phillies playoff run. They just pick on the Eagles here. Marcy said, men in this town aren't available because they need to watch the Eagles games. Or when I do manage to go out with one, they ghost me. I get lonely, she says.
So sad.
She also says, I haven't met any men who I'll get there. I haven't met any men who want a relationship. They just want sex. Men are still the same.
It's a weird comment in a story about how men don't want sex. They want to watch the Eagles, don't you think?
Right, exactly.
One older lady here in the article, she's 79. She was asked about the sex lives of seniors in general, and she quoted Yogi Berra and said, it's not over till it's over.
It's over.
Back to the tush push. You know who the best ever at the tush push was?
Who dat?
Rikishi.
Rikishi.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, he had the stink face.
Stink face.
Yeah.
He definitely pushed that tush.
You are right now, Randy. What's your name again? Donald.
Dana.
Dana. You are now talking. You didn't know this, but you're talking to right now and have been talking every day to two men who met Rikishi backstage. Oh, Randy Shaver, I want to say maybe the year 2002 or something.
Long time
awesome.
ago.
Cool.
Randy
Long
Shaver.
time ago.
Randy
and
Shaver
I had
and
no idea who I was meeting.
Well, neither of us did.
Well, I thought you did.
Well, no, what I mean by that is, if I remember correctly, Randy and this is 15, maybe more years ago. Randy and I,
it's longer than that.
and his oldest son, Daniil, what the hell's your old Ryan?
Daniil.
We went to a WWE show. Randy's a big shot. He got us ringside seats. Tori Wilson walked by. Randy had a coronary.
This is such a cool
But if
story.
you remember, Randy,
we had a backstage pass, right, or whatever it was.
Yes, and they said we get to meet a performer. They didn't tell us who it was going to be.
Yeah.
So we had our fingers crossed for The Rock or Stone Cold or, and then they sent us Rikishi.
Yeah.
So we got to meet.
How was he? Was he cool?
He was kind of, Randy, if you remember, he didn't really care to be there.
Yeah, he was kind of aloof.
He was tired and sweaty, and his ass was hanging out. Hungry.
I mean, my son thought it was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I would have been in heaven.
Wapple would have requested a stink face.
I would want to wear his sunglasses. You know when he would put on the sunglasses, they'd be like, oh no, Scotty Too Hottie, and what was the other guy's name?
Grandmaster Funk.
Grandmaster Sexay.
Yeah. They're getting ready to dance.
God
and then
rest
all
his
of
soul.
a sudden, Rikishi pulls out the sunglasses and puts them on. They're like, oh no, the fat man's dancing. Oh, it was crazy.
They had some fun back then.
Loved it.
I'll tell you this much, and I'm not going to get into the story because I think you guys know it, but Rikishi, I'll give Rikishi this. He was a hell of a lot more excited to meet us than Van Vader.
I love that story, though.
Yeah. God rest his soul. Wait a minute, is Rikishi still around? Did he die? God dang it.
I think he's still around.
Still around.
All right, good. Apparently, folks are pretty pumped that Adrian Peterson already got his ass kicked off the television show Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, that's too bad.
Many viewers were happy to see him go. Did anyone catch the episodes of Dancing with the Stars starring Adrian Peterson?
Nope.
No. Never watched that show.
Yeah, he got voted out. I wonder how Barry Williams is doing. I thought I heard Barry Williams from the Brady
on
Bunch.
that show, yeah.
Anyone else get Did anyone else get a kick out of the video of the college football referee getting pissed?
Yeah.
It's been cracking me up all morning.
That's on 93x.com.
The way
Thank
he
you,
pulls
Smashley.
himself back up was insane.
Yeah. Randy, you got to see this video.
I'm jumping there right
A
now.
referee had a hilarious reaction during a game a night or two ago between Liberty and Middle Tennessee State. The official attempted to break up a scuffle between players, and he got knocked on his ass. And when he got up to one knee, you can tell he's madder than he's been in a long time.
Watch this back judge when he gets up. Trying to split it up, hits him on the ground. Woo! He says, see me after this game.
Madder than he's been in a long time. And what really cracked me up is Josh, he had a which one of y'all kicked me look on his
He
face.
sure did.
And then once he got to his feet, he rattled off some probably profane words and moved on. But it's a fun video to watch.
Didn't it crack you up how he got back up?
Yes.
It was just so odd.
Sprung himself up onto
As
one
if he was
knee.
possessed or
Yes.
something.
I don't think I'd want to mess with him either.
It was almost like the Undertaker when he gets up.
The Undertaker, exactly.
All right, so the Houston Astros started cracking base hits left and right and up and down in yard sales, and they won Game 3 in Arlington. She was an 8-5 final.
Yeah. Getting the feeling this series is not, there's no home field advantage in this series.
Guess not.
Yeah.
And the Astros are a hell of a road club. They have been for years.
You're right. I think this year, even more so, right?
Yeah,
So,
they don't give a rat's ass. Max Scherzer, the guy the Rangers made a deal for to win these types of games for him. He's coming off an injury. He didn't get too far.
No.
Not past the fourth inning?
That's correct.
The Astros strung together a bunch of runs. I mean, Texas was chipping away, but here we go. It's a 2-1 series now in favor of the Rangers, and as Dana said, they'll play tonight at 7, Game 4.
Okay.
Game 3 of the NLCS, like we covered, is earlier in the afternoon.
That game's in Arizona, right?
Yes, they're
the
back.
Series shifts to Arizona.
And nobody cares, apparently. We read that Arizona Diamondbacks fans, they're not really bothering buying tickets.
Really?
To the home games in this series. We read that
so
you can get a
annoying.
ticket to Game 3 of this afternoon's NLCS. You can get a ticket for $10.
That annoys me. Fans don't even deserve it.
They had such a great year to get there. That's surprising.
It has to have something to do with that it's 2-0 already, and they're just saying, well, maybe next year. You know what I mean?
That's not being a fan, though.
Well, no, it's not. I'm trying to explain what maybe the thought process is there.
I mean, there's nothing else going on there right now. The NBA season hasn't started. The Arizona Cardinals are terrible.
What?
The NHL team is what it is. I mean, gosh, you'd think they'd be super pumped.
So look for about 50-50 Phillies fans and Diamondbacks fans at that game this afternoon.
Sure.
$300 is what the Phillies fans were paying to get into last night's game. $10 today in, Scottsdale or whatever effing miserable town
Philly
they play
wins
in.
today, then nobody will show up for Game 4.
No.
So.
I missed this when I was watching Game 2 of the NLCS from Philadelphia the other night. It probably wasn't televised, but now it's popped up on the internet. How much fun was it to watch that moron get blindsided by security when he ran on the ball field?
He got his butt
crushed.
kicked. Yeah. That was a hell of a tack.
I saw somebody say something about that where they said, I didn't realize that the Eagles players moonlighted as security at Phillies games.
That would be a penalty in the NFL.
Yeah, it would be.
Hey, that's true. You can't tackle like that.
You can't tackle like that.
Another attention-starved internet dork had to interrupt the ball game so he could get noticed on social media, and this clown got lit up.
He did.
By a badass security bro.
Oh, that was awesome.
And that security guy had a huge running start, too, boy.
It just took him
He
out.
zeroed in like, man.
That's
This
on
is
our
my
website,
time
isn't
to
it?
shine. Yep.
The whole time he's running, he's like, yes, 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 yes,
Yes,
yes,
exactly.
That was a beautiful thing when you were playing hockey or football as a kid, when that opponent wasn't looking.
Yep.
Oh, those were glorious times.
Wasn't looking, and you knew it was going to be a legal hit.
Oh, I didn't care about that.
Well, I'm just saying that makes it even better when you know it's going to be a legal hit.
Oh, see, I disagree completely. I always thought it was better.
But you don't want to get called for a penalty and hurt your team by
Don't care. Don't care. I want to light a son of a bitch smooth up. Crown of my helmet where their chin strap was.
It was like that dude who blew Kirk Cousins up when he was going to block or do the tackle.
Oh, after the interception?
Cousins threw that interception. The dude was running the whole way to block him.
The Pigs are at home tonight against the Los Angeles Kings, 7 o'clock on Bally Sports North. Maybe we'll watch a little bit of that tonight over at the casino.
Yeah, there you go.
If you want to see a decent video to pick up your spirits today, if you're feeling a little down, it was fun to watch Andre Drummond of the Chicago Bulls get rejected by the rim on a dunk attempt during
Defense by
preseason
Phillips.
game.
Drummond blitzes the passing lane to the big cat. Left it short. Oh, Drummond was about 6 inches shy. Oh, the takeoff was offset.
I mean, he took off from way out there.
That was terrible. I mean, he just allowed the rim to like the rim was the second coming of Dikembe Mutombo. Just spit the ball
He was
back.
so nonchalant about it too.
He was.
He didn't really run very hard.
No, I mean, it was preseason, and why would he be in a hurry? You know, there was really nobody
I'm saying
chasing him.
That's probably half the problem, though. He didn't have enough,
momentum,
speed going. Yeah.
How tall? He got to be 6'8". He was thinking, "Hell, I do this all the time." Oh, Jesus, that's fun. And if you're into this kind of thing, we'll leave you with this, Randy Shaver. A BMX rider by the name of Ryan Woolham just landed what they call here the hardest BMX trick in the history.
I just did the hardest trick of my damn life. This video has been literally 10 years in the making. The free wheelie on BMX. It's a backflip with a nothing front bike flip. I've tried it over 1,000 times on BMX. To me, it's one of the greatest tricks I've ever done and maybe will ever do.
They call it the free willy, Randy.
Okay.
Can folks see this on our stupid website?
Yes.
Oh, I was just there. I didn't see it.
The hardest.
We posted it yesterday.
Yeah, it might be down further.
Oh, I see.
The gist of it, and it's hard to follow, even when I read this, so you got to see it to really fully understand it. The gist of this is the rider does so they take off from one of those wacky ramps, right? The rider does a backflip, the bike does a front flip, and somehow they meet up at the perfect time before landing without dying.
It's a cool looking trick.
Mm-hmm. It took this Ryan Woolham kid 10 years. Over 24 combined hours of attempting this trick, and it was a feat that they say was 10 years in the making. I guess I don't know exactly what he means by that, but he tried it 1,000 times before. He estimates well over 1,000 times before he finally pulled the sumbitch off. Landing in those foam pits and such.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo-wee.
Oh my.
There he goes.
Oh my.
All right, Randy. Well, we've written down the bet that you want us to make tonight.
I'll try and do a little bit of research for Friday now that I have a heads up here.
Just come up with a couple of them.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure, because we're not putting any pressure on ourselves for tomorrow's broadcast, generally speaking. Absolutely none. If it doesn't even happen, if somehow the portable soundboard catches fire and it never happens, I don't care. But we'll be there, hopefully, and we can jaw jack some more tomorrow.
Sounds good.
All right, you handsome sumbitch. See you later.
See ya.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
And now is a great time to join their team. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians, dedicated to improving the work-life balance of their employees by providing benefits that include parental leave and 401k match. Apply today at standardheating.com.
We're all juggling life, a career, and trying to build a little bit of wealth. The Brown Ambition podcast with host Mandy and Tiffany the Budgetnista can help.
If I do even consider lending, I always ask myself, will this solve the problem? So I know you don't have your money for mortgage because you don't have a job. So what happens next month? Oh, I don't know. I'm going to have to think about the next month. Now, it's another thing if you're like, hey, Tiffany, I have $1,000 left to pay on my car and then I'm car note free and I'll be able to pay you back, the 3 months I used to pay my car note. That solves the problem.
Brown Ambition.
Wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Can you even believe it? Yeah, so here we go. It's 8:32 on the 93X Half-assed morning show. Next thing you know, we'll be hanging out at the Casino Bar. This afternoon, we're headed out to Turtle Lake Casino. Oh, a little drinking, some jaw-jacking, a live rock band. What is that, Friday night?
It is.
Yes, sir.
10 years will be performing over in the ballroom.
It's a talented group of fellas.
Definitely.
Thanks, everybody, for taking the time to join us out there. We'll see you tonight. Hanging at the Casino Bar. Well, it's a sports book, too, but most importantly, in my opinion, it's a bar. And I love hanging out at a bar. I always have. I don't have to know a single person there. As long as they got cold beer and the ball game on television, I feel as safe as if I was in my mother's arms.
A bar is my home away from home, I'll tell you what. I like the way they have, like, alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure, okay.
Dartboards.
Oh, yeah.
Beer fights, or not beer fights, fist fights with beer glasses.
Are you looking at a picture of a bar on the internet right now?
I'm watching the movie Roadhouse.
Oh, Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Josh, do you plan on drinking a beer at the Casino Bar? And if so, do you remember what I taught you about the proper way to hold a bottle of beer? If in fact they're bottles and cans, we can have a conversation on the spot if it turns out to be a can of beer.
You've never taught me how to hold a bottle of beer, only a can of beer.
Oh, was it a can that
I can't. I wasn't expecting this much pressure. I can only drink a canned beer.
Do you plan to maybe have one or two?
Well, the person who influences me the most in that department, my stepson, will be there.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
Maybe.
Well, we can go over
I haven't
it
ruled
again.
It out.
I can pull you into the men's room. We can go over beer etiquette with nobody looking.
Nice pep talk in the men's
room.
room.
Little pep talk. You can do this.
He's like, all right, let me show you a beer can and how to handle it.
Over there at the Casino Bar, that's where you're going to... Speaking of the bar, I'm sure we've talked many times on this program about the best sex scenes from movies. I'm sure we've talked about the best fight scenes from movies. Things like that. What about the best bar scenes?
Oh, Coyote Ugly.
From movies. What makes you shout that out so quickly, Smashley?
Because that I remember that from when I was younger, that scene of them dancing on the bar and having all that fun, and I remember thinking like, oh, I cannot wait until I can do that.
I think that's the only scene I remember from that movie.
Yeah.
Coyote.
You wanted to put on a pair of jean shorts and cowboy boots and a tank top and get up and dance on the bar.
Yep.
Have you done that at this point in your life?
I've only danced on a bar once, and I was the only person, and it was kind of like, I've always wanted to go on the bar kind of thing. So they were like, yeah, let's get you up there, and I kind of shook my butt a little bit and then got down.
That's about it, right?
It was kind of scary up there.
Oh, I bet.
It's high up.
You are high up there. I'm going to assume that the bar was not terribly pleased by this.
Oh, no, it was I knew the bartender or the bar owner and everything, so they were okay with it.
Because I've seen plenty of women want to be the center of attention, and I'm going to get up and dance on the bar. I don't care what she looked like. The bartender said, get your ass down now.
There was a viral video that went around a couple of years ago, and it was of a girl hopping up on the bar, and the bartender, without hesitation, yanked her off of it. It's awesome. The drinks spill everywhere. He throws her on the ground. He's like, not today.
If this gal comes off the side of the bar and cracks her skull open, you never know when her family might start drawing up a lawsuit and all that. I've always seen bartenders say, there's nothing sexy or funny about that. Get your ass down. Coyote Ugly. Never saw it in its entirety, but I have seen a couple of clips. The lead actress drove me wild for a while. What was her name again? She had a look on her that drove me wild for a stretch of time.
Piper Perabo?
Piper Perabo.
Perabo. There you go.
Oh my damn. You guys know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, she's a looker.
She had something going there for a while where I tried to get a piece of all of her motion picture endeavors. Greatest bar scenes in movies.
I was just going to say about Piper, she's in Yellowstone, too.
No way.
Yeah, she's the girl that has to be, or she's like the activist in it.
You like that Yellowstone?
Yeah.
You do.
I didn't recognize
Yeah, she was the activist, and then she lives with John Dutton.
Oh. All right. I don't know if I'll ever get into that program, but Wapple, I might have to now because she was a special, special thing.
Oh, her and Beth get into a brutal fight scene. Well, not brutal, but they definitely go to blows at each other.
I love chick fights.
I tell you what, Wapple, I don't know who the hell Beth is, but I know I'm rooting against her. Greatest bar scenes in movies. Star Wars: A New Hope.
The cantina.
Yes.
Classic.
Oh, that song's going to be stuck in my head all day now.
You got the characters running around. What is that, a dog person? What is that, a fish man? And then you Han Solo, and he's got his leg up on the table because he's a suave character. And then he kills a green bug wearing a jumpsuit. That's my vague memory of. But that, everyone remembers that and the song and all that. Didn't he kill some kind of giant green bug wearing a jumpsuit?
Yeah. Something like that.
Okay, fair enough. Cubby, you already dumped this one on us.
Roadhouse.
I mean Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Till the day that I die, I will never forget going to Excelsior Docks Theater, the cheap theater in Excelsior. At least I think maybe they still have the same gimmick there where it's not as expensive as your regular. I was a junior in high school, and we went to go see Roadhouse at Excelsior Docks, and we had the absolute time of our lives. Just screaming and hollering, and it was all high school kids.
Yeah.
It was all my classmates, and that blonde gets naked, and she was so hot, and then he tears the throat out of the one guy.
He did.
It was one of the most uncorked, non-keg party nights of my high school life. What a fun movie.
I loved that movie. Still do.
Roadhouse with old Patty Swarzicki. What the hell was his name
that's
again?
Exactly right. Patrick Swayze, if you want to mispronounce it.
Poor guy.
But
he
real
died.
fans know him as Party Swarzicki.
Shaun of the Dead had great stuff. Great bar scenes in Shaun of the Dead.
I need to rewatch that movie. I don't remember much about it.
It's been a few years for me too, Josh.
It's got to be 20 years old. They're pretty close.
Came out when I was in college, so yeah, that's about right.
I don't remember the year, but it was very enjoyable. My favorite portion of any of the bar scenes in that movie is when they're beating the zombies up with pool cues to the tune of Queen's Don't Stop Me Now. And the scene that I embarrassed myself. I watched that movie with a lady I was seeing at the time, and I absolutely belly laughed and made a fool out of myself at the line where one of the characters says, "Kill the Queen." And he says, "What? The music! Kill the music!" I don't recall. I never saw it. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. There's a bar scene I should know about.
Tequila. The Tequila song. Remember when he's dancing up on the bar? And he knocks down all the motorcycles?
Okay, I did see Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
That one I was going to bring up.
He does the cliche Pee-wee dance to the old... Okay, I know that one.
And he wins them over.
Yeah, he
somehow.
does.
It's been so long since I partied with Pee-wee.
Because I'd say that one and Three Amigos were a couple comedies from back in the day that had good bar scenes.
Another one we've lost here in this report on the greatest bar scenes in movies, Paul Rubens. Oh, we were just talking about The Shining yesterday. Mm-hmm. And The Shining shows up here, involved in the greatest bar scenes in movies. Oh, sure, I love it. It's so creepy. He's drinking alone, but he's talking to a ghost. But there's no alcohol in the hotel, but yet after he sits there for a while, he has the characteristics of a drunk. And he has the creepy conversation in the bathroom about, you guys know what I'm saying if you've seen The Shining. I remember this one. Well, the whole movie basically is in a bar. The bar scenes from dusk till dawn.
Dude, we can never play the clip, but when Cheech Marin was talking about all the things you can find at that bar, We've got blank blank. We've got blank blank.
Oh, yes. Big, small, fat, skinny. Right.
Oh, that was funny.
Oh, and of course, when what's-her-name, speaking of dancing on the bar, when what's-her-name gets up on the bar and she's got a snake coiled around her neck and she's almost naked, just Selma
Hayek,
Halsenberg.
Danny Trejo is awesome in there.
Here you go, Josh, Three Amigos. When they sing the Buttercup song and oh my God, that's so great.
Was it tequila they couldn't handle?
Yes.
They ordered tequila, was too much for them?
Right in the friggin' mind. And then the My Little Buttercup song. It is so funny, and it will be forever. Thankfully, mostly, how do I say that? Mostly thanks to Martin Short, because he's by far the funniest person in that trio. Here's Coyote Ugly. We covered that. Goodfellas, The Shine Box. We just talked about that not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm surprised in this report on the greatest bar scenes from movies, if you're going to mention Goodfellas and a bar, sure, the Shine Box scene is great. And they just beat that sumbitch to near death. And what about the How the F Am I Funny scene? But maybe they don't count that as a bar, they count that as a restaurant. Everyone knows what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, that's intimidating as heck.
Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Doesn't he walk into the joint naked?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He takes on a biker.
He goes up, he's the analyzing thing in his eye is kind of seeking the people out, and he sees the perfect match. He goes up to him, I need your pants, your jacket, and your motorcycle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The dude puts a cigar out on his nuts or something, and then they fight, and then it cuts to Arnold is dressed as a biker, and they play Bad to the Bone by Lonesome George Thorogood and the Delaware Destroyers.
Nailed it.
Never saw it. The Boondock Saints.
Oh my gosh, yes, that is such a good bar scene.
I always get my balls busted about never saw it. The Boondock Saints.
I think you'd
right
enjoy
up
that.
Your alley, yeah.
This is garbage. This doesn't belong with the rest. Top Gun. I hate that stupid singing to the lady, and I hate that. I hate it.
I like that scene.
Well, it's pretty famous.
I like the one in the new movie.
Don't remember. What do they sing this time?
Great Balls of Fire.
Oh.
It's his kid singing it this time.
Rooster.
Rooster.
Does he have a...
That's the one thing I didn't really like. It's just a little too on the nose to call him Rooster.
I liked that. I thought that was cool. I listened to that song on repeat for like 2 months after watching that movie.
Here's a bar scene from a movie that I have rewound and watched again and then rewound and watched again because it's just simply awesome, and that is Inglourious Bastards, the shootout in the basement.
Oh, my God.
Best movie there is.
Everyone in that scene is absolutely perfect, and I couldn't say enough positive things about the evil Nazi guy and the English guy and just everybody. It's so well done.
Just the tension just builds and builds and builds to the point where it's almost unbearable the first time you see it.
I get so excited to show people that movie for the first time because it's my favorite movie, and especially that scene. I'm like, oh, wait for it. Wait till he does the hand thing. Wait till he puts his fingers up.
I dig it. Good Will Hunting, never saw it. They hang out in a bar there.
Yeah, they do. That's an awesome scene.
And then Ben Affleck's basically hiding behind Matt Damon. How you like me now?
Yeah. Matt Damon tells off the smart trust fund kid.
Back to the Future Part 3, never saw it. They hang out in a bar there. I'm guessing it's a saloon.
Yep.
It must be.
Yeah,
I don't remember, but...
Hang out in a saloon at the end. Doc gets a little tuned up, and then Marty, beats up the great-grandpa of Biff, and yeah, it's a fun scene at the end.
Jesus Christ, he's teeing off on Biff's great-grandpa.
He was a jerk, too.
Was he a dick?
Yeah.
His Biff was a prick.
Ran in the family.
Never saw it. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Never saw it.
Been a few years.
Never saw it. Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Things. The Other Guys.
There's a bar scene.
You're drinking with Terry Stotts tonight, or whatever what was his name? Terry Schlotz, Terry Snots, whatever. And then it's a slow motion.
Yeah, it's like everything's stopped, basically.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And all the crazy stuff going on.
One guy's vomiting, and then he's having sex with a priest or something. I don't know. They're drinking quite heavily at this bar.
Someone's shooting a gun, I think.
Yeah.
Lost in Translation, never saw it.
I didn't see that either. It's got Bill Murray in it.
Bill Murray, Scarlett Johansson won a bunch of awards. I don't really remember much about it other than the two things I just said about it.
If I watched it today, could I edit out all the Bill Murray and just have the Scarlett Johansson?
We could probably find you a copy of that online.
And I know you're going to say you're not going to be surprised by this, but I'd like to see Slapshot recognized for the bar scenes in Slapshot. I mean, they're hanging out at the Aces. That's the scene where Ned Braden says to his wife, "You take the van, I'll take the dog." Or when the drunk walks up to Reg Dunlop and says, "You got to get the power play going. You guys got to stop losing." But that's just me. Greatest bar scenes in movie history. I think we'll have some fun at the bar in the next couple of days.
But I'd imagine a couple of you will make a scene at this bar.
I hope not. I hope nobody makes a scene. When we give you a couple of those Coors Lights and some of that apple pie, you might be the one making the scene.
Wouldn't that be something?
I would be so surprised.
You got
and
jean shorts.
You know what's different about if you or I behaved that way? We'd get fired, but we've worked with coworkers that could get away with anything in the past.
That's true. You could. I say you just get all your clothes off, and we'll see what comes of it.
Half-assed morning show.
69. This show sucks. Who are you, fart knockers?
93X.
You know, we were just talking about the greatest bar scenes in movie history, and our listening audience has woken me up to a couple that should have been in that article. When Ricky Bobby gets his arm broken, and whatever that movie was called, when he's Talladega, and when he gets his arm broken by Jean Girard, I love that scene. And how about, Josh, when the homeless guy is talking to Gary in Team America World Police?
That's a good one, too.
And then he gets thrown out of the bar, and he ends up in the alley. We all know what happened then. Oh, he got so sick.
He did. Poor guy. Got overserved.
Oh, man. All right, we're about done here. We have one more task ahead of us. Let's welcome someone to the program that was nominated by a friend of his to be recognized for his service to our country. Every week we've been featuring these folks as a way to say thank you. We want to thank Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch. They've been able to make it all happen. A donation will be made to Folds of Honor in this man's name for hanging out with us this morning. Welcome to the show, former fighter pilot T.J. Blitz Kreitzer. Did I get the correct last name?
You got it all right. That's really good. It almost never happens.
That's incredible. Good
Fighter
for me.
Pilot, that is awesome.
It makes me a good American to get that correct, doesn't it?
That's all it takes, you think, huh? Just that.
It's really, really easy, yeah.
They say they call you Blitz. What's the story behind that?
You know, I didn't actually have too good of a story. I just at the bar, you guys were just talking about bar stories and bar scenes. My laugh tends to get a little out of control, so it stands for Boys Laugh is Too Zealous, which isn't quite as good as some of the other ones, but usually it's tied to a really good story. There's a handful of them that are pretty hysterical, but mine was a little tamer than some of the other ones out there.
Well, I'll tell you
what was your call sign?
That was it. That's it.
So Blitz was your call sign. Okay,
yeah,
not just a nickname.
Yep.
You get a few beers
that's what
in
we
you.
go by.
You get you at the bar and get a few beers in. When you get laughing, it's a hell of a scene.
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing, so that's where it came from.
Well, I hope maybe we get a chance to hear it. Now I'm kind of curious. Is it wildly high-pitched, or is it...
it's loud and high-pitched, and it almost sounds like a little bit of a cry. So, you know, it's...
Real quick, if you don't mind in the background, turn on KDWB, and we'll hear some of those laughs, I'd imagine, pretty fast. I'd love to hear what that sounds like.
Tell you what, it's nice to have you on the show, TJ. Your buddy John is the one who nominated you to make an appearance on our program and have that donation made to Folds of Honor in your name. A former fighter pilot, you are turned Delta airline pilot.
That's correct, yeah. After I got off active duty, I joined the Air Force Reserves, and then I was hired by Delta at the same time. So for about the last 12 years, I've been working with them, and I retired from the Air Force Reserves in 2019. So I did end up getting 20 full years of service. First half of that was on active duty, and then the second half was in the reserves.
I'll be damned. You don't sound like you're older than 24.
I know, no kidding.
That's part of the problem with the laugh.
So, I mean, we're very interested, obviously, in your fighter pilot career, but I'm also interested in, so you're a commercial airline pilot?
That's correct, yeah.
That's
How do you like that?
What a
Is that kind
gig.
of boring compared to being a fighter pilot?
It's totally different, but the responsibility part of it is I think, where the big cross-section is. It's a different kind of responsibility, because in a fighter, you've got, a $30 million airplane, a lot of weapons on it that you got to make sure go to the right place. But then, on airline, you've got, hundreds of lives that you have to make sure everything, all the decisions that are made correctly. And it's a different environment, but that commitment to detail and professionalism is exactly the same. So I think military pilots are very well liked by the airlines to hire, because the product, the training, what they went through from the military side of things. So what the product that you're getting when you hire them. So it's a pretty desirable background.
I'd imagine they love having you, for sure.
That's very interesting.
You didn't have to apply.
Yeah. And I'd imagine they probably, they brag about that quite a bit, I would think.
So, the transition is really hard, going from a single-seat fighter into a multi-seat, really big airplane, but you get it over time. I mean, you're trained and taught how to do the things that are different. You've got the aptitude, but it is a big mind shift, from what you were doing before into the new job. But you base it on, that, like I said, being detail-oriented, professional, those sorts of things make you capable of handling the shift in context.
Absolutely makes sense to me. I hate to fly. Is there any way, if I made a few phone calls, I could, if I do plan on flying ever in my life again, can I get you?
Can you request a vet?
Yeah. Can I specifically request you?
You could try. I don't know if it's going to work, but sometimes I see friends on the back. And it's kind of rare, but it's always really fun. When I'll usually, hey, can I take the landing if my friend's on the airplane? That's pretty cool.
Well, can you imagine? I'll just call Delta. Hello, Delta, and I'll say, is Blitz there? So real quick, at least on my end, one final question about your career as a commercial airline pilot. If we got 100 of you in a room, how many of you flew in the military? What's the percentage?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I think it's something like 30-ish%, but that's kind of a guess. I don't have a good number for it.
Okay,
but it's significant. It's significant.
Okay, I lied. I have one more question. I hate to fly. I'm terrified of everything about it. Being a guy who knows every little thing, every last thing, why shouldn't I be concerned, TJ?
Well, I think the safety record speaks for itself with airlines. And if you ever go to like a website that says, what are the most dangerous jobs and blah, 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 pilot is always really high on it. But if you look at the safety record of the airlines, it's not because of airline flying. Okay. It's military flying. It's crop dusting. It's bush pilots in Alaska, stuff like that. So the fatality rate in that kind of flying and in civil aviation, where people are, getting paid to do basic instructing, things like that, that can be dangerous. I mean, for the military, I stopped counting how many people I know that died in military plane crashes. I mean, every time, there'd be an article in the news. Oh man, yeah, there'd be an article in the news about, a plane, and we wait for next to kin, and everybody's on the edge of their seats like it's one of my guys, and I can't even tell. I think I stopped at about 8 or 10 and just stopped counting.
Oh, I didn't know.
Because it's an extremely, flying fighters, or like even rotary wing, like helicopters, things in the military, especially in a tactical environment, even the heavies, like C-130s, it can be extremely dangerous, and the margin for error is really, really thin. But you get all that experience, you take it with you into the airline atmosphere industry, where everything is very well controlled, everything is focused on safety, making sure that the right decisions are being made all the time. There's all kinds of procedures to keep it safe. So flying in an airline is incredibly safe, especially when you compare it to the other types of aviation out there.
It's great to hear that from a professional. You ever had anyone cut a turd in the aisle or anything, TJ?
No,
have you heard those stories lately?
We read a lot of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I hear those stories. I'm glad that I have not been blessed with that experience yet.
TJ, did you grow up wanting to be a fighter pilot?
No, I did, but I didn't know it was actually an option. I got, ever since I was born in the late 70s, and I saw, Star Wars and that trench run, I was like, man, that's awesome. Yeah. And my friends were running around being Luke Skywalker. I was running around being Wedge Antilles, the wingman that makes it through all the movies, that blows up the second Death Star,
Smart.
And so my mom in 10th grade sat me down. She said, hey, I grew up in Cleveland, and we didn't have a lot. And she said to me, what do you think about all this flying stuff? Because I was into this Red Baron video game, and I would make all these models all the time. I'm like, I don't know, what do you mean? She's like, well, do you think you want to be a pilot? I said, Mom, that's like being an NFL player. Like, we don't know anybody that does that at all.
Right.
How do you do that? She goes, well, there's this place called the Air Force Academy, which I had never heard of. And she's, short story, she said, we think your grades are strong enough to maybe go to college, but there's no money for you. So if you're going to go, we need to get it paid for. And we think that maybe you should look into these schools, the military academies, if you think you want to fly. And that just set me on a path. And everything I did from 10th grade on until my early 20s when I got my wings was to try to be a fighter pilot.
That's incredible.
And so I got to credit my mom for nudging me in that direction, having this amazing foresight, because I don't know that I would have gone to college otherwise. I don't know what I would have done.
That's really cool. I was obsessed with that stuff growing up.
Yeah.
They said I had what it takes, but I looked dumb in aviators, so they kicked me out.
We're talking.
Well,
yes, go right ahead.
I was just going to say, one of the things about being in that career field and being a fighter pilot, guys are really competitive. And after I left the military, that piece really kind of moved me into the next phase of my life. So even though I'm professionally, in aviation, I also do a lot of nonprofit work for veterans. And I'm the vice president for an organization called We Defy Foundation. And what we do is we sponsor disabled veterans to train jiu-jitsu as a therapy for their service-connected disabilities. So that's really, with Veterans Day coming up, I think it's always good, to mention or talk about the work we do. I'm a volunteer. We have about 400 volunteers and a paid staff of like 3 people. And we've sponsored about 1,000 veterans over the last couple of years to get into gyms, around the country. And even we have an international footprint now in terms of the gyms that we work with. So there are all these small businesses, local, that have jiu-jitsu programs that we vet, and then we find veterans apply to us, and they ask to attend a school that we've already looked at. And we get them set up for a year. We get them with uniforms and everything like that, so there's no out-of-pocket cost for them for their first year of jiu-jitsu, to try to give them something to help fill that sense of purpose that maybe they're missing out on after military service, or to kind of find that community again that they lost, because that's a real big struggle for veterans. Because after you leave, and I struggled with it too after active duty, even though I was still in the reserves, my affiliation with the military was smaller now, and my sense of purpose started to wane, and I really struggled with, who am I now, and what do I do now? And I got into martial arts and jiu-jitsu specifically, just because I was like, maybe I should go to the gym, because people say when you're struggling, and going to the gym is good, right? And endorphins and things like that are positive things. So I started with that, and then I got hooked on jiu-jitsu. And a couple years later, I found out about this organization, We Defy Foundation, and I was looking for something to be involved in. And I have a psychology degree from the Air Force Academy. And when I saw what they're doing, and they're pairing, concepts in psychology and in trauma recovery and all this stuff with the sport that I love for veterans, I said, that is what I want to be involved in. I want to do that.
Well, that's really great stuff.
That is, man. It's inspiring.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we just had someone text in, TJ, who's asking a question via, I already mentioned that, the text machine. We just had a listener text in and wants to know, is this guy Jesus?
No, absolutely not.
Do you go to Minnesota Top Team, TJ?
I do, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Oh, no, yeah. Dang it.
What does that
mean?
mean?
That's not fair. It's a jiu-jitsu gym in Eagan.
Yeah.
Awesome place. My son used to go. My wife said, she just emailed and said she knows you. I'm going to ask her to stay away from you.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
I did notice she followed him on Instagram, Josh.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, hey, what are you doing? Stop that. Stop following him. Hey, this, for anybody that goes there, I got to ask you this, TJ. How intimidating is that Jeremy, over there?
Jeremy is awesome, man. So on the mats, he's a monster. He's in the low 200s, but he's so strong, and he's a player development coach for the LA Kings. So his gym is kind of unique because they have boxing, CrossFit, and jiu-jitsu, and they have a little bit of Muay Thai as well, kickboxing. And a lot of jiu-jitsu gyms focus just on jiu-jitsu, or that's what they're built around. But since it's a full functioning gym with a weight room and everything, it's always open, or at least during business hours. So one of the things I tell people is I love going in there because every time I'm there, there's somebody in the building working really hard on something they care about. And that's not always true just because the way some gyms have to structure their hours. So Top Team is really neat. They've got a physical therapist on staff, a front office staff. It's a full functioning gym with a couple different activities that you can, subscribe to if you care to. That's a little different of a model than some martial arts places are able to have, and it really makes it fun. And Jeremy, because of his professional experience, I think with the Kings, he just brings another feel to it. Like, there are high-level athletes that go there. There's competitors that go there, but then there's also hobbyists. People that just come 2 or 3 times a week because they like boxing or because they like to work out. They have personal trainers, So it's a really cool, comprehensive program that they're running there. And Jeremy is, like, when you walk in there and you meet him, he's, like, got a radar for when somebody new walks in. And he just can tell right away. He comes up and meets you, introduces himself, and he makes you feel like the most important person there. And I think he's exceptional at just managing relationships. I mean, he's a really, really cool guy.
Don't they say the first thing you should do in that situation is just punch the guy right in the face? Or is
Dude,
that crazy?
you would be insane to do that.
You go after the biggest guy, right? And you make a name for yourself right away.
It's not just how big he is he's intimidating. But he's a super nice guy. He shook my hand the first time I met him. I was in a cast for all of 2020.
Jeremy doesn't play hockey. He's a coach for the LA Kings, but he doesn't play hockey. He was hired by them to teach players how to fight on the ice.
Oh, wow. That's so badass.
So don't punch Jeremy.
We've been talking with former fighter pilot TJ Blitz Kreitzer. We got to get out of here. We got to get going, TJ, but it's been a pleasure getting to know you. Is there a website folks can look at for the We Defy Foundation if they maybe are looking to volunteer their time or something?
There is. It's WeDefyFoundation.org, and if you're a local jiu-jitsu gym owner or anyone that hears this, we have a need for gyms. We have a need for funds if you want to donate. If you're a veteran, check out the website. It'll tell you about the eligibility, and if you want to be a volunteer, you can do the same thing there. If you email info@WeDefyFoundation.org, those emails come to me, and we can make sure you get connected with the right person.
That's great.
It's been awesome talking to you, man. Maybe we'll run into each other someday. Maybe one day I'll be sitting on a Delta airplane, and you'll say, hey, it's me, Captain TJ Kreitzer. What I'll do then is I'll just run screaming towards the cockpit as fast as I can.
That's good. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea. You know, you come into the gym, we'll get you on the mats, and I'll sweat in your open mouth. It'll be awesome.
That's how you met my wife.
Have a good weekend, TJ.
Thanks, everybody.
We'll see you later. My damn, look at the time. We got to get going.
Holy cow,
Thanks again to Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light because we've had so much fun with this. And every week it seems like we meet someone who's, a wonderful person.
Well, yeah, we've been very lucky, very lucky. Happy birthday to Kaysen turning the big 01 and his grandma Tracy from Kelsey and Dustin. Happy birthday to It Can Only Be Jared Jesus. Frog Fraud Jesus wishing a happy birthday to Frog Fraud Jesus. Another birthday shout out this time for Classic Player Jesus from Chip Band Jesus. Happy 42nd birthday to Booze Hound Jesus, slacking off at work today. And happy birthday to Brian, a.k.a. Brother Hezekiah, and his weird penis.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians. Apply today at standardheating.com.